Hey, you guys, welcome to the Smack Drop Podcast, a wrestling recap show. However, before we get into that, we won't be recapping anything today. It is our special March Madness coming in with, 2 days to go? So a little late on getting to this. Finding out who's the best wrestler on the planet, as long as they're in WWE and AEW. Sorry to everybody else. And we'll be here to break it down in a 64-man tournament pitting AEW, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, all against each other, head-to-head. Doesn't matter if you're a singles competitor. Doesn't matter if you're a tag team. Everybody's going to be judged equally between our three panelists. Before we get to them, let's take a rundown of the rules of tonight's show. That is going to be, once again, a 64 wrestler single elimination tournament. There are 4 divisions, like I said, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. A panel of 3 judges will vote on which wrestlers advance. And lastly, I get a trump card to veto at least one matchup before the final 4. I will have a say in who goes through potentially on tonight's show. Without further ado, let's throw it over to our panelists.
Yo, what's up, guys? I am, of course, SES Vince, your normal NXT guy. I'm here with my NXT co-host, RN, from the Mean Jelly Bean Productions YouTube channel. And for the first time ever, we're collaborating with Matt from the Smacking the Raw podcast. How are you doing, dude?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
It's
Cease and desist.
Collaboration.
Cease and desist.
Even though
Right now.
But how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing fantastic.
All right, just like Kyle was saying, tournament, and we can vote on whatever we want. We can use whatever criteria we want. Whether you just like a wrestler, you think they're a better in-ring performer, or their promos are just way better, personal preference, or just spite. Just use whatever you want as criteria, and we'll go from there. So, Kyle, I think we're ready over here. Whenever you're ready, just let us know what the matchups are.
All right, so we're going to go matchup by matchup instead of running down 64 people or 16 at a time. Today's first matchup, starting on the Raw side of things, Asuka versus the Street Profits.
Ooh, okay.
This is bullshit. I love you, Vince, but fuck you out the gate, bro.
That's the reaction I was going for, man. Go ahead, Arn.
Damn, man, why you gonna do this?
By the way, you guys, I will have a timer going, and I'll let you guys know when we hit 90 seconds. If we hit 90, you guys got to wrap it up.
Okay, I'll go easy just because I know where I'm voting here. I'm going Asuka. Asuka.
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt. Your guess.
I mean, I'm going Asuka as well.
Oh, Asuka gets it right out the gate. Bye, Street Profits.
Go ahead, Matt. Finish your thought, and then we'll let Arden.
No, it's cool. I see a lot in Asuka, especially watching her from NXT, and I hate the way she's treated on Raw. I love the Street Profits; they're entertaining as shit. Not all of their comedy really hits with me, whereas just about everything Asuka has done has. So I got to go that way.
Okay, Arn. Any thoughts on this?
I was gonna go Street Profits mainly because not anything against Asuka. I love Asuka, but they have completely shit on her on Raw. She's not the Asuka from NXT. That's just me. But
we got a little bit of time left, just because I was late on the timer. Do you want to try and sway Matt or Vince into going Street Profits?
I'm not budging.
I'll make you a deal. If you can find me a picture of Angelo Dawkins wearing a thong over his tights, I will change my answer.
Well, I guess we're done because not looking up any men wearing thongs. So.
Asuka, it is, you guys.
Asuka moves on to the next round.
Okay, so next up is going to be Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre right out the gate.
I'm going Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's always been one of my favorites, and then when he left and went to Evolve and completely reinvented himself, I mean...
You know what? I got Seth Rollins here. I'm going to go Seth Rollins just because he's accomplished more than Drew, and I love Drew. But if this was 3MB Drew McIntyre, I'd probably be voting for him. But right now, Messiah Seth Rollins is at another level, and he's just done more.
I got to go with RN this time, man. It's Drew all the way. He's been a babyface and a heel, and he's succeeding as both, whereas babyface Seth Rollins,
Oh,
Facts.
man.
Damn, Seth Rollins is out in the first round.
Becky
Alright.
fucked him, man.
Hey,
Well,
yeah,
literally
I
and
mean,
figuratively.
hey, listen now.
In more ways than one, man, honestly.
I'll give you a moment, Vince. Any rebuttal? Anything you want to clasp on?
Honestly, I would just say that Seth Rollins got my vote mostly just because of it was a legacy vote. He has more cachet within WWE. He's accomplished more than Drew McIntyre.
You know what? Vince got me. I think I'm gonna change my vote. I'm gonna go with Seth
Oh,
Rollins.
wait.
already.
Let's go. Let's go.
Because I
Seth
just started
Rollins.
thinking about the Messiah shit and that shirt.
Not
And,
only that, but I go back to the Authority Seth Rollins. Then you go to
15
Shield
seconds.
Seth Rollins, and also too he was repping Chicago twice with the Bears and the Bulls.
Y'all flip flop like pancakes. I'm sticking with Drew. So
Oh, damn. Hey, listen, I would have wanted Drew as well, but
Upset.
Seth
Upset,
goes through. Okay.
Seth's got to go through.
Okay.
Next matchup, sticking with Raw over here. R-Truth taking on Samoa Joe.
oh,
But this ain't even hard. Samoa Joe.
What are you talking about? Do you not know who R-Truth is? This
Yeah,
man
he's a
international
joke.
treasure.
He's a joke.
He's won more titles than Samoa Joe.
Yeah, he's won more titles than everybody on the roster. What do you mean? He's 3,700-time European I-95 champ.
So you're penalizing him for longevity? What, this is what we're doing now?
Man, I'm sorry. Listen, as a black man, that shucking and jiving shit that he's done to keep himself on TV, I get it. White people love it. Keeps him on TV. But for me, Samoa Joe all day.
Let's hear.
he's also the first ever African American NWA champion.
Yeah,
Oh.
he is. But this ain't Ron Killings. We talking about R-Truth.
Oh, we could use whatever we want to like sway
Yeah.
our votes. There's no criteria.
I mean,
We can-
I'd put him in over Samoa Joe as if we were talking K Quick, but no, I'm actually gonna go Samoa Joe as well. I love Joe. Joe's a bad motherfucker, and I really want to see better for Joe. I gotta
Right.
see him go through on this tournament. So
All right. Honestly, Arnon, I'm just doing the Skip Bayless, Stephen A thing, just disagreeing with you. Just disagree. I also vote Samoa Joe just because I want to see him succeed, and maybe who knows? Maybe him winning this tournament helps him get a better push on TV. You never know.
Vince, you know Vince is watching, man. We got McMahon watching this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
One of our-
he doesn't
go
sleep,
ahead.
so he's got nothing better to do.
all right. So Samoa Joe in a sweep in the first round.
Yes.
R-Truth.
All right, boy. I can't wait to hear this one. Y'all get into this. Randy Orton taking on Charlotte.
This is
Charlotte, horsewoman.
Randy.
I'm going with Charlotte here.
damn. I'm the tiebreaker.
Well, let's see. I'll start off with why I think Randy should go in, and then we'll let you do Charlotte, and we'll see who can sway him. So,
Okay,
here's
sounds
the
good.
thing: from the get-go, from Evolution, from the titles, from the feud with John Cena, from everything he's done, now what he's doing with Edge going into this WrestleMania, this man is a bona fide Hall of Famer who has made a career for himself, has solidified himself going in. Charlotte, it kind of feels like she's just. I know she hasn't been handed everything, but it kind of feels like she has because of who she is. I know that's a big argument against her. Not saying she's not talented, but she also botches all of her signature moves on a regular basis, and it kills me to see her fuck up a big boot or a moonsault or her natural selection. Randy is the smoothest, most technical motherfucker in that ring.
True. Okay. Fair point. I would say that Charlotte and Randy Orton are mirror images of each other. Similar, parallels. They also have the lineage. You could also say Randy got a lot of handouts because of his last name. He was handpicked for Evolution. You could argue that Randy needed other people more than Charlotte. He's been in Evolution. He's been in Rated RKO. He's been in Legacy. He's been in The Authority. He's been needing other people to help build up his career. Charlotte had Ric Flair, and once she realized she didn't need Ric Flair, she booted him to the curb.
That's 90 seconds.
Right now,
Wrap it up.
okay. That's my case. Is that Charlotte is still improving, and here's the thing: Charlotte's just a much nicer person to like than Randy Orton. Just my point.
I think I'm just going to have to go out of pure spite. I fucking hate Randy Orton.
Is that Charlotte?
It was a convincing argument, so I'm going for Charlotte. But no, everything you said about Randy is true. I just think he's a fucking predator.
Fair point.
Predator.
Fair.
Apex
Apex
Predator.
There you go. There you
I
go.
was going more towards sexual predator.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
still the apex, sexual or not.
All right, you guys. hate to say it, this one I'm not looking forward to, but Rey Mysterio versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh, Rey Mysterio.
Rey
Brock
Mysterio for me.
Lesnar.
I'm sorry. I'm Mexican. I gotta root for my Mexican people in this tournament. Like Rey Mysterio is the ultimate GOAT, and he doesn't phone it in. He's always inspired. He always gives his 110%. And who doesn't like Rey Mysterio? There's like a good portion of a bunch of WWE fans, wrestling fans.
I'm one of those people.
You don't like Rey Mysterio?
No, I don't.
Here's the thing. You've lost because there is nothing you can say to persuade me to pick Brock Lesnar. He broke the streak, and it is probably the biggest travesty in my mind. I hate him for the rest of his life for that fact. I don't care what he's done, who he's... Nothing you can say. So I'm going Rey. He's going Rey. That's that, man.
That's that.
I'll give Vince a pass because he's Mexican.
Well, look,
you're going to hate me in the next one.
Hey, look, I'm going to get involved here. Listen, man, I'm gonna get involved for a second. Brock is like our modern day, Bruno Sammartino.
Yes, bro. He does not get enough credit for how... And the worst part is, this run is longer than his first run when everyone always thinks of and puts him on a pedestal. With this run right here, the man, no one sells better. He's beat everybody. He's made everybody look good.
You lost.
Mysterio killed the guy.
That is unfortunate.
All right, you got me there.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, you guys. I do have a trump card, but I'm not going to use it just yet. So Rey Mysterio goes through.
You had me worried. I was going to be so mad at you. And you
this is the biggest upset of the tournament because this is some bullshit.
Rey should have beat him in that match, but he beat him here, so we're good.
Jay,
there you go.
I'm with you, Jay, on this one. My vote was going to be
If this was
Brock.
98, Ray, then we have something. But...
All right. Next up is going to be Angel Garza taking on AJ Styles.
Angel Garza. You know
AJ.
why?
AJ Styles.
AJ.
I had to. I knew this was going to be a quick loss to Angel Garza, but I have to stick with my gimmick.
Don't get me wrong.
I stand the man.
Garza's great. He's entertaining as shit. He does have a little bit of that Eddie vibe to him. I don't like people comparing him to Eddie, but he does have that. But it's fucking AJ Styles. I mean, it's the phenomenal one. It's the guy that's going to lose to Undertaker, on my birthday.
Garza is arguably less problematic than AJ Styles. So I'm using whatever basis you want to use here. So I'm saying I personally like Angel Garza more.
I mean, Angel Garza's fucking amazing. I mean, me and Vince talk about him all the time, but it's AJ Styles. He's arguably the best wrestler in the world.
I love AJ too. He's arguably like in my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. But you know what? Like right now, Angel Garza is the hot thing right now, and who knows? He might end up being better than AJ in ring wise. You never know.
Yeah, but I got to see that to vote him over AJ Styles.
I know. I'm just letting you know why I voted. I'm not
putting fucking Kid Gohan in over Piccolo just because he might be better. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, you know what? I love you that you used the Dragon Ball Z reference to okay, you know what? Okay, we can move on here. You won me over with...
Oh, that's going to be a good one next round. Okay, so moving forward is AJ Styles. Let's see. The next matchup is going to be sticking with the Hispanic portion of Monday Night Raw. Andrade taking on the man, Becky Lynch.
This isn't hard for me either, Andrade.
It just got uncomfortable in here, man.
The man shit is stale. It's just not what it was.
This is hard because I love Andrade so much, and I did just vote for all my Latinos out here. But at the same time, Andrade just hasn't hit the peaks that the man Becky Lynch has. And you could arguably say she is the face of WWE right up there with Roman Reigns. So I'm going to go Becky Lynch.
I hear what RN's saying about the man shit being stale, but at the same time, the man shit that we got last year, even though they boggled it at the Royal Rumble, or after the Royal Rumble, leading into WrestleMania and all that shit, was some of the best TV we've gotten from a long time, and it really did put the women on top, and it's really hard for me to overlook that, though I do love Andrade. That match he had with Aleister Black, where Aleister Black beat him for the title, is one of my favorite NXT matches. Mm-hmm. The guy kills it. Becky's done more. I got to go Becky.
Yeah. It's a tough call, man. Tough call. All right. Unfortunately, Becky Lynch. Yeah, unfortunately for our end, we keep voting against him. Eventually, I'll swing your side, man.
Well, I mean, we had Samoa Joe. I was with him on Joe.
I'm not here to be the fucking sing-along champ. I'm here to stand out.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
So what's the final Raw match?
So yes, the final Raw matchup is going to be Aleister Black taking on Kevin Owens right here.
I hate you. Before we started this, I told you that if there was one name from 3 brands that I didn't hear, I was going to be upset. Aleister was that guy. Aleister is my guy. I love horror movies. I love the occult. That's one of the reasons Undertaker's my favorite wrestler. I love that. I love Kevin Owens too. I'm going to go Aleister. He's my guy. He's my favorite guy on Raw. I have to go him.
Mine's the exact thing for you. Like, Kevin Owens is everything that I am. A fat, fucked up, not really good beard, shit talking, in your face.
I mean, hold on.
Fuck you, I'll do anything.
We need more of that energy. I got a fucked up, not kind of good beard.
Wrestler ever. Not if you take Triple H off the board, Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler ever. So I mean, I love Aleister. Aleister is, to me, he's a future world champion. To me, I think he's going to be one of the faces of the company eventually. But it's Kevin Owens for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, you put me in a tough spot, guys. So now I
never liked strikers until I saw Aleister Black, and when I saw that black mask at first, I was like, yeah, you know what? Okay, he doesn't kick. But then I saw him hit it, and I was like,
oh my.
That's
and
my
his
guy.
Precision, like, how does he kick people in the face and not really knock them the fuck out?
So
like, that is the most amazing thing to me in the world.
So this is hard because I love both men. I'm a big Aleister Black fan. I love Kevin Owens for the same reasons you have said, RN. Honestly, I gotta take personal preference out of the equation here and just go based off of facts. And the facts are that even though they've both been misused a couple times on the main roster, Kevin Owens has accomplished more in his tenure in WWE. He's the former IC champion, former US champion.
That Festival of Friendship?
That segment alone might put him over Aleister Black. But then again, Aleister Black had his feud with Velveteen Dream, which arguably is one of the best feuds in WWE in the last 10 years or so.
Amazing.
I don't know where to go here.
We're at 2 minutes.
Broke Lars Sullivan's jaw.
True.
Oh, you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
He just
making it tough. I'm going to go Kevin Owens. I'm sorry. I'm going Kevin Owens.
Let's go.
He's a former Universal Champion. He's a former IC Champion, former US Champion. He's been great wherever he's gone, whether that's PWG or Ring of Honor. And Aleister Black, I only really knew him because of the UK tournament and what his work in NXT. I just know Kevin Owens way more. So I'm going for that. I'm going Kevin Owens.
All right, you guys. So that is it for the Raw bracket. So instead of going down SmackDown, let's jump over to the development territory, okay?
Okay.
And let's go NXT. Okay.
Oh, this is going to be hard.
Smack the NXT.
I'm excited looking through this bracket, although I feel like we're about to witness the biggest squash match in history on this show. The first matchup is Adam Cole versus Dakota Kai.
Fuck you. Why are you trying to break up our partnership? Are you trying to break us up, Vince, already?
I'm sorry, man.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk, and then it sounds like you guys got
it's
something
Adam
going on
Cole
here,
for
so.
sure, but he knows Dakota's he knows that's my girl.
I love. Okay, so honestly, some of these I did randomizers. Some of these I wanted certain matchups in the first round, and unfortunately, Dakota Kai ended up with the short end of the straw. She ended up drawing. She ended up with the longest reigning NXT champion in history. I love Dakota Kai. She's one of my favorites. But Adam Cole, baby, it's my vote.
Yeah. So I think this is where me and RN are going to bump heads because I've listened to him and I know how he analyzes things and thinks about things when he talks about the Smack, your NXT, the Smack NXT hashtag in your show. I'm going Dakota Kai because I don't see in Adam Cole on NXT the greatness that I hear about, and I'm one of those guys that I shouldn't have to go and look at what he did beforehand. I should be able to see it now. And if I'm not, I feel the same way about someone that I'm sure we're going to talk about later.
Oh, man.
Hot debate.
Oh.
But if I don't
believe it or not, I agree with this take on you. Like, here within the last 6-7 months, Adam Cole hasn't done shit. Maybe since last summer, the last match with Gargano. That's probably the last great thing he's actually done. I agree with you. I know you thought I probably wouldn't, but
so Matt, is that an official vote for Kai?
I am voting Dakota Kai because I find her more attractive than Adam Cole.
That is a good one. RN, that leaves it up to you, man. If you want to,
it's Adam Cole. But
they both voted Adam Cole.
Yeah, we voted Adam Cole, but I totally agree with what Matt said. Like, to me and Vince, we talk about this on the show. Like, they said the way that they handle them is not how you should be handled. Like, it's totally, I'm against it all, for real.
Okay. Right. Well, like I said, officially is what you initially. It's not like chess. If you take your hand away from your piece, it's official. Until I say we're moving on, you can flip flop your vote all day.
Oh, I'm not flip flopping on this. It's Adam Cole for sure.
All right, so Adam Cole goes in.
I agree with Matt's take for sure. I don't hold it against him.
Damn, that would have been like really dramatic. Dakota Kai just beat out.
Dakota Kai just makes it in.
I tried to will it, man. I tried to will
lost
it.
Credibility. As an NXT podcast, we would have lost credibility on that one.
All right. So next up, probably one of the more heartbreaking matchups of the day is going to be Finn Balor taking on Walter or Volter. This hurts no matter which way you go.
I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll wait.
I'm gonna go Finn on this one. It's really, really close.
I'm gonna go Walter, and the reason I'm going Walter is because Finn, even now in NXT, still hasn't been the Finn that I saw in his first run in NXT up to the Universal title win. He's never gotten back to what he was that first run around. Something's still missing. I mean, he's been much better than he was on the main roster, but still down here, it's not there for me. And Walter's killing it on NXT UK. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like the guy, but I watch him do that shit, do those drop kicks and power bombs and those chops.
I fucking love Walter.
Yeah. By the way, Walter's intro trumps Finn Balor's intro. All day long. Yeah, fucking
so,
Imperium.
I agree on that end. I didn't like Walter initially. I didn't think I would like him. I actually went to an Evolve show and he was the main event, and I didn't care too much for his match. Maybe it was the matchup he was with, but it wasn't resonating too much with me. But his work on main roster, like on WWE in WWE UK, has really it's really captivating. Finn Balor hasn't been doing too much recently, and like you were saying, Matt, he has just not been doing what you expect him to do. Like, since he's been in NXT, he hasn't gotten to that old NXT Finn level. He hasn't gone for any titles. He's just been the cool guy and just saying stuff what's on his mind. And it's hard for me to choose here, but I'm going to go again with criteria. Unfortunately, Walter has only won the UK title, and that's it. Finn is a former IC champion.
90 seconds.
And NXT champion and Universal. I'm going with Finn.
I'm actually going to agree with you real quick because you brought up Evolve, and I forgot that Walter came to Chicago and got his belt stolen like a bitch. And I can't. So, I can't ride with that.
Okay,
Finn.
So we're all just switched and unanimous.
Wow, it sounded like everybody was all over Walter, and then last second was like, yeah, nope, Finn.
Okay, this one I'm not looking forward to. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next matchup is going to be Bianca Belair taking on Shayna Baszler.
No, wait, hold up. That's the wrong matchup.
No, it's not.
No, yeah. That's the wrong matchup.
No, it's not. I have the brackets in front of me. It is Bianca Belair taking on Shayna Baszler.
I mean, we don't need to. Do we really need to see what my vote is?
I'm going Bianca here, man. I'm sorry. I just find Bianca way more entertaining. I like her character more. She hasn't accomplished what Shayna has, but you could argue maybe she just hasn't been given the opportunities that Shayna has. So... yeah,
my wife's gonna hate me for this because she loves Shayna, but I'm with him. Bianca on the mic is more entertaining. She's athletic as hell in the ring. She doesn't have the accomplishments that Shayna has, and that is a big consideration. But I enjoy watching Bianca on my TV more than I enjoy seeing Shayna if it's going to be a promo segment or any kind of back and forth.
Well, my thing is, no, we don't know what Bianca is. Is she face? Is she heeled? You never know what
that
it
don't
is.
Matter. We're not here to
let me finish. I'm trying to get somebody to switch.
Okay.
My whole thing is with NXT is there's never any fucking heels.
Okay.
You know Shayna Baszler is a heel. She came to hurt people. She came to win titles and keep it moving. Bianca is like, I don't know if I'm a bad guy or not. Blah 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 blah. Like, and they never give her a real chance to be who she is. So you don't know who she is because it's start and stop all the time.
I think you're strengthening my argument, saying she hasn't been given the opportunity to like showcase and have the opportunities that Shayna has. Shayna came in the Mae Young Classic, and she went all the way to the finals. Then after that, she went immediately into the title picture with Kairi Sane. So honestly, I would argue that like because of that, like I think Bianca offers more to the table than Shayna Baszler. She just hasn't been invited to the table as often as Shayna has.
Also, Bianca.
I totally disagree.
Bianca made me want to see her at WrestleMania against Charlotte and Rhea in that matchup.
Yeah.
From what she did, and that's a big decision right there for me is not being factored in and putting herself in that position and making me want to see her kind of get the push that Kofi got.
Yeah.
To be shoved in that match, I'm still going Bianca.
I still think she should have been in that title.
Another mistake you made is she shouldn't have been in NXT. She should have been on Raw.
Hey.
Wow,
we're here to vote how we're voting, man. Unfortunately, man, Shayna, she's out in the first round, unfortunately, man.
Damn, man. You guys, so you have
Shayna
being dominant now and what Bianca could be.
Exactly.
Fuck it, dude, no.
Keep
My veto
energy,
comes into play here. You both are wrong as fuck. Shayna Baszler goes over Bianca. Yeah. Dude.
What the fuck?
Why?
Let's
Shayna,
go,
Shayna goes through, man.
Through the tournament, and you've already wasted your veto.
No, I didn't waste my veto. I just stopped. I just stopped a travesty from happening on this show. Come on, man. You guys call yourself journalists. Shayna Baszler.
Potential.
I have never called myself a journalist. I have claimed to be the #1 podcast on Pornhub, but I have never claimed to be a journalist.
Fair point, man. Okay, you know what? I'm not happy about this. Bianca should advance, but move on. Let's move on.
We got the grizzled young veterans taking on the Broserweights.
Vince, why are you doing these things to me? Why are you doing this?
So
I thought we were friends.
Here's my thing: is I love Pete Dunne. I really love Pete Dunne. Being that our names are almost exactly the same, I have a big problem with Matt Riddle. People think that I've actually picked my name because it's like Matt Riddle, like I'm trying to catfish people. I was just born this way.
Honestly, I wondered that myself.
It's my actual name. I was born that way. I was called Riddle for years in grade school and high school. So I have a inner just angst against Matt Riddle and his fucking flip-flops. But I also hate the name Grizzled Young Veterans so fucking much.
Sounds like you hate 3 out of 4 people, though. So do you just go with the one person you like in Pete Dunne?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going.
Okay. So Broserweights take it from
First of all, I would just like to say fuck you, Vince, for doing this to me. This is my favorite tag team with my favorite wrestler in NXT. But I'm going to have to go Broserweights.
Okay, I'm going to keep it simple. Broserweights. Grizzled Young Vets haven't done enough. I like them, though. There's potential there, but I'm also kind of for the fact that Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, just on their sketches alone, have done more for me than Grizzled Young Veterans have.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
actually, Grizzled Young Vets have won the belts more times than Broserweights have.
Pete Dunne is also the longest reigning UK champion.
And I think they're the longest reigning UK tag champions.
I don't care. They've also they haven't done enough singles.
You can't if you're gonna use the championship criteria. You got to do it for everybody.
No, I'm
keep that same energy, Vince.
I'm using that. I'm also saying that Broserweights they've done a lot as a tag team, but also as singles competitors. Grizzled Young Veterans have only done stuff as a tag team, and if they split up, it's only Zach Gibson that breaks out of that.
Yeah, if they split up, James Dre, he's done for. I don't even know what his voice sounds like.
All right. Plus, go ahead.
I love Vegeta, and Matt Riddle does a Final Flash, so there's that too.
Right.
All right,
love
you guys.
the DBZ references, man.
If this doesn't get me a 5-star Haas match in this debate, I'm going to be severely let down. It is, of course, Keith Lee taking on Dominik Dijakovic.
Oh, it's Keith Lee all day.
Yeah, this is weak as fuck. Next.
Who
we don't even need to discuss this.
Okay, you know what? I'll make the case for Dominik Dijakovic. I would say that
you got 90 seconds. You got 90
All
seconds.
I'm gonna say he's not on the Keith Lee level. I would say that he's arguably given Keith Lee the best matches that I've ever seen out of Keith Lee. Outside of WWE too, they've had chemistry as well. I think Dijakovic has done something that not too many people can do, and that's making me care about him because he came out. He was just generic babyface custom character that you make on 2K, and he's came out, and I've actually cared about the guy. So I will say that my vote is Keith Lee, but don't sleep on Dijakovic.
Keith Lee with
Actually,
the clean
he hasn't
sweep,
given Keith Lee the
man.
best matches. You know who the best matches with Keith Lee have been? Matt Riddle and Evolve.
Yeah,
Well, I
didn't
haven't
watch
seen
that,
them, so I thought we didn't watch that, dude.
Anyways,
Yeah.
okay.
I have made a case that we should all be sitting in our house when he goes for the spirit bomb, raising our hands, giving our energy
Oh,
to
yeah.
the bomb. I want to see that. I want wrestling fans to do that in the crowd. I want that to happen. So it's definitely Keith Lee. I'm basking.
I
in
hope that
all-
fucking happens. Damn,
Does
that's
he even call it that anymore? I think they
Yeah.
cut him out from calling it
No,
that.
no. He has two finishers, though. He uses the spirit bomb. He's that whatever, like slam or
Yeah,
whatever
no,
it's
but I
called.
thought they stopped. I don't know if they call it the spear bomb.
No,
do
they still do. They still do. If
From
they're
what I
gonna
heard,
call,
they have.
Yeah, if they still call the final flash,
They don't call it the Big Bang Attack. They call it the Big Bang Catastrophe, and that bothers me.
all right, you
Gotcha.
guys. So Keith Lee with the squash match, not the 5-star classic we were hoping for. Gonna go ahead and skip over to a very subjective matchup, and I'm sure Vince will tag in on this one. Velveteen Dream taking on Undisputed Era.
So the thing is, no Adam Cole, just the body of work of Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. You want to count them as just a tag team and exclude Roddy? You can. If you want to include Roddy in there, you can. Use whatever you want. I'm gonna go UE on here just because, as a collective unit, I've just enjoyed them so much. So that's where my vote's going. I'm going on this Undisputed Era here.
I mean, that's mine too. I mean, I love Velveteen for sure, but the UE, I mean, what they've done in NXT, I mean, you can't like them or love them, you can't deny.
But
the
you
impact
can't
they've
count
had on
Adam
the brand.
Cole in this, though. You can't
Yeah,
count.
so-
Adam
Even
Cole.
if you don't count Adam Cole, they're what, 3-time tag team champs. All three
Okay.
of them have been tag team champs together
All right.
multiple
Well,
times.
you know what? I'm on the fence. So Matt, like, let me
I'm
hear
going
your
to take
argument.
this
You
30
might
seconds here to try and persuade you towards my boy, the Velveteen Dream, because he pulled the biggest swerve. I have not been fooled by wrestling in a long time, and what he just did with Roderick Strong, actually going after Adam Cole, that whole cage match, that whole scenario blew my mind.
we kind of called that.
On top of the fact that, as we talked about earlier, the Undisputed Era hasn't really been used probably the way they best could be. And Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black are one of the greatest feuds in NXT and probably WWE in so long. And that had a lot to do with Velveteen, his character work. And he is one of the most incredible in-ring performers, pulling out some shit I just can't believe from him with that flipping Samoan drop driver, whatever the fuck it's called.
No, yeah, I know it's
Valley
the
Driver.
Yeah, the Dream Valley Driver, DVD. Yeah, the cartwheel DVD that he does, which is just insane, let alone doing it on ladders and shit. The guy is an unbelievable talent, former North American champion, just done some amazing shit for NXT and has a shit ton of potential.
Hey,
All right,
to
I think
try
I'm
it.
gonna change mine up. I'm gonna change mine up. I'll go Velveteen.
You know what? You actually swayed me too. I'm gonna go Velveteen.
He saves Velveteen Dream. At the
Swayed us back into Velveteen.
Vince, you chimed
Hey,
in
you
at
were
the
hoping-
90-second mark too. Like that was perfect.
This
Oh
smart
wow!
motherfucker.
Hey
This smart
man.
motherfucker. Matt Riddle point 2.
Okay. Okay. What do we got next on the
Wonderful,
docket
man.
here?
All right, so the co-main event of the first round for NXT is going to see Rhea Ripley taking on Io Shirai. Fan
Io Shirai.
favorite taking on fan
Io
favorite.
Shirai.
Io
Io
Shirai.
Shirai. Io
I don't.
Shirai.
It's lit. Me and Vince had this talk about Rhea Ripley. Like, it's not that I'm not into it, but I feel like it's the same thing with Bianca. I think that they fucked up. Bianca should be in Rhea's spot, and Rhea should be kind of trying to push up and get. They jumped the gun like they always do. And let's be honest, they didn't think that the black girl could hold a crowd like she could, and they always do this. And
Honestly,
that's just it. It should have been. It should have been Bianca. Everything she did at the Royal Rumble proved it should have been her and not Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley can have her time. She's 22 years old.
My voting for Io is a little bit more biased. Io is one of my favorite wrestlers, so that's why I'm going. But also because Rhea Ripley just takes forever to like help in a run-in situation. If she were to help me in a run-in situation, I'm getting beat up, and she stands in the stage to hit her entrance time, I'd be pissed, and I'm still haven't forgiven her for the way she did Bianca dirty. So I'm going. That's why I'm going with Io.
I agree with everything both of you said, and I am a typical guy who finds Asians extremely attractive, and I just love Io Shirai. So
I second that.
Man.
Yeah, man.
plus, I love a moonsault, and she does a killer moonsault.
Yeah,
her theme music too to me is like top 5.
Hey, don't ignore the Black Lotus shit that happened in Lucha.
Oh
Underground.
yeah, over in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, bro. When they did the Pentagon taking on all of the Black Lotus, and he was just breaking all those girls' arms. Oh my god. Yo,
I love Rhea Ripley's music. I think that she got a little exposed with Charlotte here after she beat Shayna. They might have jumped the gun with her and Shayna. Should have stretched it out a little longer, and I don't think she's looking as spectacular going into WrestleMania as she was before WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Gotcha.
I feel like Charlotte still like really outshines her, and I feel like Bianca didn't let that happen. When Bianca was there, she held her own and felt like she belonged. I feel like, Rhea still feels like NXT developmental champion,
Which is why
I
she
just
should have
don't
beat
understand
Shayna.
what didn't they see at Royal Rumble that all of us saw. That Bianca is a fucking star.
Yeah,
and
you
it does
voted
not matter.
against her.
Yeah, because it was against my favorite wrestler. What do you mean?
Whatever.
Whatever they didn't see at Royal Rumble, you guys both clearly didn't see in this tournament because Shayna beat her. So
I just know that
all right.
she should the Royal Rumble like it showed you everything you needed to see.
All right, let's move on.
Let's
still
go
mad
on.
about
The
Bianca
last-
being eliminated.
The last of the first round in NXT, coming down to the Big Time Classic. Oh, a heartbreaker of a decision. I am, of course, referring to Tommaso Ciampa taking on Johnny Gargano.
oh, Ciampa.
That
Gargano.
easy. Damn, that easy.
Gargano for me.
Here's the thing: what Ciampa has done since he returned from injury, and even the heel turn and the heel work that he did, he was one of the only true heels at that time in NXT when he was doing that heel work against Gargano. Gargano was the white meat babyface. I've never been like a white meat babyface guy. Like I wasn't behind Daniel Bryan during the whole push. I wasn't behind Gargano. I got to see that street fight live in Chicago. It was dope as shit. I've loved everything that Ciampa's done. His music is just like it's my ringtone on my phone. Like amazing. When it happens, when it hits, I get chills. Seeing him come down with the crutch and just getting everyone's face and just being him, the presence that he carries for NXT, it's easy for me. It's Ciampa all day.
Here's my thing. Here's the kicker for me is Gargano as a heel, Gargano as a face. He's believable at both. Ciampa is not believable as a face at all. Nothing that he's done since he was a face has resonated with me. I think that they tried it. I don't think it worked at all. He's a heel for sure. He has to be a heel, and I think that's the tipping point for me.
But he still gets cheered like he was a face, and it reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he's a natural heel, he's a better heel, but he's got that badass in him about him that just makes you want to cheer for him regardless.
Yeah, but when he's a face, he doesn't have. I don't want to cheer for him when he's a face.
Okay.
When they did that contract signing, when he fucking put Adam Cole through the table with the X on it, and all, like, come on now.
I wasn't feeling that.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to be the tiebreaker here. And personally, Ciampa, unfortunately, this is just a bad time for Ciampa because this was around the time when Ciampa came back. Right now, I'm like very lukewarm on Ciampa. He's very similar to Rhea Ripley. I felt like Velveteen Dream and Keith Lee stole his thunder for that NXT title picture. I was fully behind Keith Lee getting that title match, and he didn't get that title match, and it was Ciampa. They went back to that. Just like with Rhea Ripley, I felt like it should have been Bianca Belair in that situation, and they gave it that spot to Rhea Ripley. And I'm going to go Johnny Gargano just because that promo with Mauro Ronaldo really resonated with me. I liked his motivations there. And the fact that he's like, hey, like he hasn't changed anything. Why are you guys suddenly cheering him? I am behind Johnny Gargano. I don't like it when he goes super Johnny and kicks out of everything like he's John Cena. But for right now, Johnny Gargano gets my vote.
All right. That went way over, but it was worth it.
Do you wish you had that veto back or no?
No, I'm good with this one either way. Okay. Yeah, now this one I was cool with. So you said Johnny?
Okay. Yeah, Johnny's moving on.
All right, Johnny.
For now.
Mr. Wrestling moves on. Damn, heartbreaker for Matt Ritter over here, man.
Okay.
So let's move on. That was the last of NXT. Let's move on down to we'll go to SmackDown. Yeah, SmackDown over here. Starting out, one of the bigger matchups, Alexa Bliss taking on King Corbin.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to go King Corbin on this one.
King Corbin? All right,
I'm going Bliss. Listen, Alexa is fucking amazing. She is one of the best on the mic. I feel like, especially what she showed us when she showed up on the main roster and became champion after absolutely doing jack shit in NXT. I feel like she's very underrated and kind of got overshadowed by the Four Horsewomen when that whole thing really got pushed. She is one of the best female competitors on the roster. Probably the best on the mic, hands down, period. I was a Corbin fan for a very long time, and then he did the King Corbin shit, and we got the dog food stuff, and I know that's not necessarily his fault, and he tried to do the best he could with it, but that whole thing that he's been doing with Roman Reigns since he won King of the Ring just hasn't done shit for me. I love seeing Alexa every time she comes out, and even this past week on SmackDown, that match she had with Asuka, with Nikki, and I know this is Nikki, this isn't Alexa, but their dynamic I've really enjoyed.
You might have just lost some votes there, because the dynamic with Nikki I hate. I think Nikki is holding her back, and I despise the Nikki Cross segment. I thought she was annoying. She might not get my vote for that, but I think my vote is going to end up going with Alexa. Just for the simple reason that I find her more attractive than Corbin. That's where I'm voting here. Because I think they're both about the same. I think they both do their job incredibly well, and they make the best out of the situation. You want to bring up the dog food segment, I'll bring up This Is Your Life Bailey segment, and that was just as bad, if not worse.
Oh, that was worse.
My thing is Corbin is a heel. Corbin is the only actual heel in wrestling. He doesn't go out there to try to get cheers. He doesn't care if the crowd likes him or not. He's trying to do his job, and his thinking of the business in the ring and outside of the ring.
Yo, he pisses on the military.
Was the only heel in wrestling earlier.
Male. My bad. Male.
Okay, how many only heels in wrestling we gonna have?
There you go. Take those shots, man. Don't let them get away with
Who would you rather see in shorts, Alexa or Corbin?
A vote for Corbin is not a diss on Alexa.
Well, we're both gonna vote Alexa here.
Alexa threw me off when I seen her sleeping in the bed with a pig.
Hey,
it gave me hope.
Exactly. Me too, I guess. Shit.
Okay, so then I guess we're all voting Alexa here.
Alexa Bliss with the clean sweep, man. The new Artist Collective, your Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Nakamura faction, taking on Braun Strowman.
The collective, and not because I liked him, it's because I think Braun Strowman is ass. Everything about him is ass. His mic work. That stupid choo-choo train shit is literally the worst move in wrestling. Every time I see him do it, I literally want to jump through the screen and get beat up by security to trip him, to stop him from doing it. That's how strongly I hate him.
Go ahead, Matt.
You kind of persuaded me there, man. Like, here's the thing. I was really big on Braun Strowman for a long time, and I feel like they kind of like they did with Roman originally. They had that window and they missed it, and now they kind of fucked that up big time. I hate the choo-choo train thing, as you said, and then with his recent comments in real life about independent wrestlers, that kind of put a damper on it too. Whereas, I mean, Cesaro's a great in-ring worker. I really think they should have put the title on Shinsuke when they had the chance, when he won the Rumble. I thought that was a miss, and you know, I'm glad Sammy's got that beautiful IC title, that brand new beautiful IC title finally.
It's fucking gorgeous, by the way.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a clean sweep. You're right, Braun Strowman just isn't hitting right now. He's boring. I don't care for his segments. I literally just tune out. His comments really sway me some type of way. And also, too, the way I'm looking at the Artist Collective, I'm looking at it as a whole. You look at what Shinsuke has done in NXT, New Japan, Sami, what he's done in PWG, Ring of Honor, and main roster NXT. Cesaro is one of the most underutilized wrestlers in WWE history. As a faction, they haven't done anything, but separately as a singles act, they've all accomplished a lot, way more than Braun Strowman. And fuck Braun Strowman. So that's my vote.
Sweet.
Artist Collective.
All right, moving on to Naomi taking on Sheamus. Both new, fresh returns. Haven't seen too much of them since they've gotten back. Who's it gonna be?
I'm gonna go with the same way I look at my chicken: dark meat over white meat. So I'm going Naomi. Don't get me wrong, Sheamus is fantastic. He did his whole heavyweight run, all that, and he's trying to do this comeback. But since he's come back, Shorty G, like. This is the best.
Yo, that entrance alone gets Naomi out of the first round. I'm sorry.
It's Naomi for me too. I mean,
yeah.
Even though I feel like she's way underutilized, but it's Naomi.
She's the best pure athlete in the women's division, man. Remember?
Yeah.
I love me Naomi. I think she should be higher in the totem pole in terms of WWE. I love me Sheamus. I think he's great. I think he's underutilized. I've grown the fondness for Sheamus within the last couple of years that I didn't realize. But yes, Naomi is getting the vote here. On the entrance alone, just puts over Sheamus.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a clean sweep, and not that I need to add this, but the rear view from Naomi is probably the only wrestling move I'd actually take from a wrestler. So.
Right.
True. There we go.
Shit.
I'm with
Okay.
it.
So, Bray Wyatt up next, taking on the tag team of Miz and Morrison.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Next.
Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. I love Miz and Morrison.
Quickest.
But I got the Fiend pop over here, and I got another Bray Wyatt pop. I don't own the single Miz or Morrison pop, so that gives you any inclination. Yeah, so plus the Fiend is one of the most interesting characters, and even Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt is very interesting as well. His segment this past Friday was great, and I look forward to more of him, and that's about it.
90% of my wrestling T-shirt merch is either Undertaker or Bray Wyatt. That would be the SmackDown guy that I was really hoping you didn't leave off this list. So you are 2 for 2, Vince. Good job, even though Alistair didn't make it.
Alistair was on it. He just didn't advance.
No, he didn't advance. Bray's advancing, so I'm happy we're good here. The guy's fucking great. I've been a fan forever. I mean, I've got the old school tan, carnival-looking Bray Wyatt T-shirt that I still wear.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I think believe it or not, I still think he's underutilized, and I think they've dropped the ball on him numerous damn times. And instead of bringing old ass Undertaker back, you had someone that could have took his spot and that you could be using the past 5 years or more.
I would have put through Miz and Morrison. But up next is Bayley taking on Sasha Banks.
Thank God you used that veto on Shayna.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going Sasha. Don't get me wrong. Ooh. Bayley is a fantastic wrestler. I would say technically in-ring Bayley is better, but Sasha is more entertaining. For me, in-ring, on mic, I think Sasha, between her feuds with Charlotte and her feuds with Becky at Hell in a Cell, and hell, even her feud with Bayley and what they did down in NXT, has more entertaining feuds. I believe she has more championships at this point, even though she would only hold them for a week or two and then lose them. I'm going Sasha.
Arn, go ahead, man.
I'm going Sasha too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like this. I want to see your manager version of Bayley.
Yeah.
With the bob cut, she looks like she has a biracial son named Jaden, but her king. But yeah, it's definitely Sasha.
Okay. I honestly don't even want to vote here because I love them both so much. I think Bayley is one of my favorite wrestlers I've seen in a long time, but Sasha is in my Mount Rushmore of wrestling. She's my second favorite wrestler of all time, behind Eddie Guerrero. That's how much she's resonated with me. I've gotten a chance to meet her. I've gotten a chance to meet Bayley too. They're both very, very great in and outside the ring, but I will say that Sasha has had more matches. She's given your their best matches probably, and that's something I can't say about Bayley, unfortunately.
So Bayley's Sasha is a one-trick pony. What the fuck, man? Bayley has gone through character renditions. She's given you heel. She's given you face. She's done
this is why
everything.
You should have waited on your veto.
No, man. This is dude, one trick.
If you want to put Bianca through and use your veto here, I'll
go back and use my veto. No.
No, I mean, here's the thing. If she had listened to a lot of the people that I talked to on Twitter, put on shorts, I might have voted for Bailey. But since hashtag Bailey in shorts never happened, I'm still going with Sasha.
Bailey got that cake.
Oh my
we voting on
god!
that. We voting on cake.
This was a
Bailey.
hard matchup. There was this hard matchup to choose, but personal preference, I like Sasha more.
All right.
Just
I like
because-
Sasha more too.
If y'all go unanimous 3 times in a row, I'm ending this show. Y'all better fucking fight at some point. All
The
right.
bank statement's better than whatever the fuck that wannabe
True.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
DDT thing she's doing.
I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
New Day taking on the Usos.
Oh. Oh, where do we go here?
I'm going New Day. Don't get me wrong. The Usos are fantastic. I love them. They're fun to watch. They really didn't resonate with me until they went to this day one-ish gimmick, the Samoan gimmick that they were doing with the face paint and everything. I wasn't really about that, no matter how good they were. But Kofi and Kofi Mania. Big E is one of my favorite talents. I love him. I want to see more of him. They need to use him more. And Xavier Wood in and out of the company is just entertaining as shit and fun and a great wrestler. I love the wizard boots that he has. With the little curl on the top.
Yeah.
Everything about New Day, like they made a fucking cereal. Like going from a preacher gimmick that was gonna fail to where they are now and what they're doing with it and what they've done with it, and then obviously, like I said, Kofi Mania as well. I can't even argue for the Usos.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to argue for the Usos, but I'm gonna have to pull the race card and just because we finally have actual black men that are stars, not a white guy pretending to be black or anything like that. Actual black men as stars of your company, and they probably sell the most merch out of everybody.
Okay.
And like you said, in and out of the ring, they're great people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I gotta go
sorry,
with New Day on
man.
this.
I love New Day, but I feel like that's more of a Kofi vote. Is where you guys are going. You like that's where.
Well, here, let me counter
Biggie's
this.
got
Let me
a
counter
bigger-
this. Let me counter this. It's not a Kofi vote for me because I don't think the Kofi Mania shit happened and it's cool, but let's be honest, that wasn't his spot.
Right.
He just got lucky and took the spot. I literally saw New Day when they were doing that Nation of Islam shit at a house show, and me and my son, we literally have been on the New Day train since then.
New Day and Usos, they're so like pick your poison. They're apples
Right.
to oranges. They're very very close. Honestly, I think Usos are the better wrestlers, and that's where I'm voting here. I think Usos put on a better matches than New Day. Like their characters just resonate more. They feel like more organic. There's a couple stuff where New Day just feels cringy. There's been times where New Day just hasn't hit, and sometimes like right now they're missing Xavier Woods. Like I feel like they're missing that component to them. And with the Usos, they just feel more badass. And honestly, there's more matchups that I'd want to see the Usos with than the New Day. I want to see them with Revival. I want to see them with Young Bucks. I want to see them with Guerrillas of Destiny. I want to see them with XLAX. I want to see them with anybody out there. And I love a good super kick party, man. So I'm going Usos. You guys aren't swaying me. I love New Day, but I'm going Usos.
All right, we're 2.5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do on this one.
I'm sticking with him and New Day. Big E's got a better ass than both the Usos. Your argument about
man.
them missing Xavier, like if Jay was gone, Jimmy'd be missing him too. And the New Day are better on the mic, man. They are. Like I love the Usos, but they're not as good on the mic as the New Day. They're not as entertaining.
Hey, I'll add this though before we go on to the next one. So yeah, New Day takes this one, but could y'all fucking imagine the Usos in New Japan? Like, dude, the Usos in New Japan feel like a fucking match made in heaven. That is just them against the Guerrillas of Destiny. Just two Samoan tag teams going at each other. Fucking all that facial hair. Oh, God.
Yeah, I love
I'm
it.
telling you, man, that would be the
Big
shit
sweaty
right
man.
there.
Imagine them in imagine them at AEW.
Yeah, I like them there too, but I love the Gorilla of Destiny's parallel with them. That's the only reason I'd want to send them to New Japan. And could you imagine the Usos dropping F-bombs in the ring? Like, while hitting
Aren't
each
they
other?
all fucking related? Aren't they all first cousins?
Every Samoan is like
Except for Joe.
Except for Joe.
Except for Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
What we got next?
Well, going from one Samoan act to another, Roman Reigns. Excuse me, taking on. Fuck, I just read it. Roman Reigns versus Otis.
Otis.
Yes.
Reigns.
Is this an argument? It's Otis.
Roman
Otis
Reigns,
has been.
man.
Otis has kept SmackDown afloat
I love Otis. He is the heart and soul of SmackDown, but Roman Reigns is the face of this company, and you just can't. Like, I'm sorry,
I don't like Roman Reigns at all. Like, I think his moveset is ass. I think he's overrated. The funny part is Joe Inoki, or however the hell you say his last name, he is the shit. Like, on Twitter and stuff and everything, and like different things where he's there, like, he's dope. But Roman Reigns is fucking ass. His promos are garbage. His moveset sucks, but he is the face of the company.
I won't say that. I would say that he's way better than people make him out to be. I feel like he carries this bad stigma, unfortunately, that John Cena syndrome. And I think he's just a better wrestler. He's accomplished way more than Otis. I love Otis. He has my heart.
What about
if I could, man? I would donate an organ to Otis.
What about the pops?
Living. But I'm sorry, it's Roman Reigns all day, every day.
Otis gets a bigger pop. Otis can do the Caterpillar. Roman Reigns can't. And on top of all that, you're sitting here saying Roman is the face and Otis is the heart and soul. Well, I'm a person who looks at the heart and soul better than a pretty face, and I'm going with the heart and soul. Like I said, he is.
You just voted. You just had 2 votes based on like looks alone. So I think Roman Reigns is a better looking guy.
Got him.
While that is true, Otis is prettier than Roman Reigns in this case. You guys just call him the face.
Whoa.
Otis is a pretty man.
We hit 90 seconds.
Otis is a pretty man. That gut, that hard, solid gut. Like, I love that.
It's not big boy season,
weights, baby.
It's not big boy season. It's summertime.
Big boy season all year round.
Roman Reigns takes it.
Shot. You know better.
Dude, I was pulling for you, Matt and Otis, man. I really was. Last up, one-sided beatdown. I don't mean to swing the vote, but Elias taking on Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand Elias. I love that he...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I can't stand Elias. I don't think he does anything for me. He hasn't added anything to wrestling. I feel like he's a one-trick pony. Whether he's a face or a heel, it just doesn't resonate with me. I don't want to sit there and watch any single Elias match. And he hasn't won the title except for the 24/7 title, and that's not really a title unless you're R-Truth. And he just got killed off by King Corbin, Lion King style. So
fuck yeah, he did. Dude, his ass is dead, bro.
I actually really enjoy what they do with Elias. I wish they would do more. I wish we could see more of what he could bring, and I wish they would expand upon it. But even though I've never been a Daniel Bryan guy, like I said, I wasn't during the whole Yes movement. I wasn't a Daniel Bryan guy. I was never about that. I have since seen the value in Daniel Bryan. I've come around to what he offers in ring and so on and so forth. I like the fact that he's gotten Drew Gulak over in front of zero crowd. That's impressive as shit. From PowerPoints to Daniel's BFF. So yeah, I'm with you on it. I will say what he does. Some of the songs he writes are entertaining as shit and funny, and I'd like to see more from Elias because I can't go with him.
Yeah. There we go. So Daniel Bryan, of course, going through as the last member on SmackDown. Next up, the last 16-man bracket to round off the first round will be AEW's current roster, and we kick it off with Jon Moxley taking on Darby Allin.
Ooh. I love me Darby Allin, man. He has an amazing theme song, a banger of a theme song.
Darby with the intro. With the intro, for sure.
But Jon Moxley, he's the current world champion. He's the only man to on that roster to be a member of the Shield and be WWE champion, and he's the AEW champion. He's doing what he was supposed to be doing in WWE as a singles act as Dean Ambrose. This is what I feel like the Dean Ambrose character was supposed to be. I know you don't feel that way, but Jon Moxley, I feel like right now Darby Allin just hasn't done anything. Moxley,
I'm going to vote for Jon Moxley, but it's not. It's literally because of I just have to because Darby's not there yet. I love Darby. The stuff he did in Evolve was next level shit, and that's what got him to AEW to begin with. I think Jon Moxley is. I think his character is ass. He's literally just Dean Ambrose like he was there. He's not this crazy person, this lunatic shit. I don't know. I'd smack him in the face. I'm not scared of this character. I don't know. But I vote Jon Moxley.
I'd smack him in the face, he says.
I'm those dudes like that you see out in the bar I don't know if y'all ever been in a bar fight, but those type of guys when you see out and they're like huffing and puffing, walking around, hitting themselves in the face, that's the type of dude that does that because he doesn't really want to fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, man. John Moxley, he's done way more. All right, Matt. We'll let you finish this off.
I think we lost him. Yeah, he's.
I thought he was just tired of our shit by his looking.
Oh. No, I think we lost him for a second.
Oh man. Okay.
But we have 2 votes for Moxley.
Yeah, we have 2 votes for Moxley.
All right, we'll have to pause it till we get Matt back.
Okay. I mean, on the plus side, it's a live stream, so
Yeah. There we go.
Hopefully that brings him back.
Oh shit! I thought I was frozen.
If you're watching, if you're watching the live stream, our windows might get messed up here in a second, unless he can pop back in without leaving the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, our production's gonna get exposed here in a second.
For sure, man. Oh man. Wait.
Wait.
I think he just.
Back?
We're waiting on him. We'll see, see what's up. Oh man.
Damn, man.
I think he might have just had a connection issue.
Oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
All right. I don't really want to move.
I don't feel comfortable moving on without him.
Yeah, me neither. It's not like we're doing the recap.
You know, we should have had a contingency plan for this. Oh, he's out of the call.
Yeah, hold up. Let's see.
See if we can get him back in here. Oh, all these windows look messed up. I feel for the one person watching this on their live stream. Let me go ahead. He's online, so I'm going to call him. I'll ring him in. Oh.
Yeah.
We may have gotten him back.
Oh, man. I was wondering what was happening, because to be honest, he just kept looking and staring. I'm like, man, are we really saying something that he's like not vibing with? Okay, let's see here.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
What happened? Are you okay?
I was acting weird, but I called in on my phone because I don't know what the hell happened to
Okay.
my computer. So,
Okay. No worries, man. I mean, we can hear you. We can hear you. You just can't see nothing.
So do we move on? I'm the host. Like, what do we?
Yeah.
What do I do?
I'll work on try and get back in, but we can do it this way.
We'll do it this way for now. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to it. Then.
Okay. Well, we both voted for John Moxley here, Matt. Where do you stand on here? You want John Moxley, Darby Allin?
I'm with you guys. I agree with all the stuff you guys said about, Darby not quite being there, and I mean he's great, he's fun, but I mean it's John Moxley. Even though Aaron said that, he doesn't feel different to him, he does to me. I think he's better as Moxley than he was as Ambrose. So I'm with you guys on that.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right,
next matchup is going to be the Bastard Pack taking on the Lucha Bros.
Oh, Cero Miedo all day. Lucha
Yeah.
Bros. I got to vote for my Mexican homies out here. And I love Pac, but character-wise, he's just like what? Like, he's just a mean, angry grouch guy. And then Lucha Bros, they have a banger of a theme song. They've wrestled here in Chicago so many times. Matt, I don't know if you had a chance to see them or not, going to an AEW show or like a Warrior Wrestling show or whatever. But personally, I had a chance to conversate with them, and they're pretty cool. I want to be a Lucha Bro if I can, so I don't want to be a Bastard Pac. I want to be a Lucha Bro.
I met Ray Phoenix as well here at Rockstar Pro Wrestling here in Ohio. They come to. It's actually part of Sammy Callahan and the Chris Brothers. It's their promotion.
Right.
And yeah, Ray Phoenix is dope. I mean, like he's one of my favorite wrestlers for sure. Lucha Bros, no doubt.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've already voted, but Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Pac, but no, I'm with you guys. Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros it is.
All right.
Let's see. Next up, we've got MJF, arguably the world's greatest heel, taking on Britt Baker, arguably AEW's weakest heel. Sorry, I don't mean to throw in my stuff there, but
You're trying to sway us one way.
I'm gonna give Aaron a chance to tell us that MJF is the only real heel in wrestling, real quick. And then...
I don't count them. I don't count these two promotions together. So no, it's MJF. I mean, in ring, he's nice, and I hope they do something with that. Like when they had the empty show and they had him and Sean Spears gambling and stuff, and they had them all sitting together. I hope they move with that and make them all together.
Me personally, I'm gonna go ahead with Britt Baker. MJF rubs me the wrong way. Maybe that's just him doing his job, or me just knowing full well he's a legitimate prick in real life. But I'm going with Britt Baker.
I wish you could see my face right now. No, it's MJF all day. Britt, I mean, don't get me wrong. What she's done now with her heel, the way she's turned her character around has been better. But MJF is the better character in ring, performer. I haven't seen anything from Britt since she's been in AEW outside of that Fatal 4-Way at All In that has really impressed me. Like, she doesn't do it for me. I see why Chelsea went to NXT and she didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so
right, cool.
MJF it is. You guys are turning out to be very unified with AEW, which does not make for good content. So, all right, up next, arguably from the two heels of AEW to the two faces, we've got Cody taking on Kenny Omega.
Oof.
It's Kenny Omega for me.
In my opinion, it's the greatest storyteller against the greatest in-ring technician.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I like them both, but I just like Cody that much more better. I think he's a better storyteller, like you were saying, Kyle, and I feel like wherever he's gone, whether that's WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or now AEW, he's been true to who he is. He knows who he is inside and outside that ring. He's arguably the most over guy. It'd be like that the crowd gets behind. Sweet, we got visuals.
If you guys are watching YouTube, Matt is back on screen.
Okay.
How's your audio, Matt?
I think his audio isn't just there, but his video is
so we traded off a voice on a podcast for a face on a podcast.
Okay, but I'm gonna finish with my argument. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is Cody because I think Kenny Omega just ever since he's been in AEW, he's just been a watered down version of Kenny Omega that he's been in New Japan. He's almost like he got neutered once he went over to AEW, and maybe once he turns heel, I'll see more of that cleaner Kenny Omega. But right now, this babyface crazy Kevin Omega or whatever he's trying to do, it just isn't hitting home to me right now. I think Cody Rhodes is just that much better, and he has the better theme song. So Cody Rhodes for me.
Cody.
Okay, so we got one vote, and it's going to Matt. But
can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, it's okay. Come on, Matt. Get your shit together. See here.
Goro 187 in the chat says, "Man, you young kids have no idea that lineage that exists. Not one of you are touting the Shockmaster and how he is going to shock the world. How did Shockmaster not make our brackets,
man? Yeah, we
man?
can hear you now, man.
Okay.
Now we can't see him.
Yeah, I know.
Well, voice on a podcast makes more sense than a face on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Shockmaster.
I'm not going with Kenny Omega. I'm not a Kenny Omega fan. He got overhyped for me. Here's the thing. I heard how great Kenny Omega was, that he's the best bout machine, he's all the shit. And I watched that match he had with Jericho, that first match, and I wasn't impressed. It didn't blow me away. I wasn't a fan. And I haven't seen this best wrestler in the world, best bout machine, best blah, 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 blah bullshit from this guy since he got to AEW. He doesn't do it for me.
Mm-mm.
Cody is one of the best baby faces in pro wrestling today.
Yeah.
Even losing, I still want to see him win. I'm behind him 100%. So I'm not a Kenny Omega guy. Like I really just don't like the
guy. Jay is in the chat. He says, "Stop, no Shockmaster."
Yeah.
No, I mean I kind of agree, but I think a lot of it is I think that was on him since he's been there and pulled back to give other people spotlight and other people a chance to.
It's the Okada trilogy is what you need to see for the best bout machine.
That's what I'm saying.
The Okada trilogy.
Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the fucking world, hands down. Cody might be the best promo right now, but Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world, period.
I'm going to argue and say that Okada is the best wrestler in the world, and he made everybody realize that Kenny might be better than he actually is, but he had a great match with Marty Scurll. He's had great matches with just about anyone. If anybody's the best bout machine, it's Okada, and I could argue that say that he's the better character than Kenny Omega. I think Cody Rhodes in this matchup just takes the cake for me. I don't think Kenny Omega has done enough. in AEW, he's just not hitting all the right beats he's supposed to. I haven't seen this cleaner Kenny Omega, the best wrestler in the world in AEW. Cody Rhodes, man. Sorry.
So what's our votes here? We've got 2 for Cody or 3 for Cody?
2 for Cody. 2 for Cody.
2 for Cody. Unfortunately, we still cannot hear Matt when he shows up on cam.
Yeah,
but we know
he's
that
trying to find the balance.
While he figures that out, I'll go back to our chat here. Wait, did you say something, Matt? No? Okay. Goro on one of our Twitch channels, he's been pretty active. He says, for one, he says Kenny might be an Omega, but he'll never be an Alpha. So, he also says, why does no wrestler have a gimmick where a literal spotlight shines down on him or his opponent? When the light shines down, they win, therefore literally giving someone the spotlight. That is out there. That's out there.
It's out there. It's something I should consider for WWE too.
But mostly he's appalled that y'all are putting Cody through with his ugly-ass neck tattoo.
Hey, here's the thing. You can put a scarf on and ignore the tattoo, but you can't ignore that terrible character from Kenny Omega right now.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so moving on. Hopefully we'll have Matt fix his stuff over here, but we'll keep the show rolling. Hangman Page taking on the Young Bucks.
Oof. The Young Bucks, for me, they're arguably the most talented tag team in the last decade. They're entrepreneurs, they're visionaries. They've turned themselves into the best businessmen outside of WWE. They make a living out of t-shirts, out of a YouTube series. You can argue that they built this entire company out of a YouTube series.
Show.
Exactly. Literally. And if it wasn't for the Young Bucks and collectively with Cody Rhodes, they don't form All In, and then Junction creates All Elite Wrestling for Hangman Page to be somebody. And Matt Jackson made a great point. Hangman Page was just a jobber in Ring of Honor until they brought him into Bullet Club and people knew who he was. So if it wasn't for the Young Bucks, there is no Hangman Page.
You got to consider current stock, though.
This is Young Bucks for me, for sure. I mean, they might be the most influential wrestlers in the last decade, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
What they've done, from starting up from championships in every promotion to starting their own promotion.
Okay,
so if you guys are watching the YouTube version, Matt keeps, every time he pops up on camera, his mic cuts off.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yes!
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, shit, he's back. Yes!
All right, so...
fucking praise, man. Throw up those praise
Matt,
emojis in the chat, man.
On the top of your picture,
there was a muted symbol. So you just had to unmute your mic, I guess.
Now you're back muted.
My wife just stopped by. This was awesome. You know, she always bringing me food, man, off screen, man. This is awesome.
Okay.
Still can't hear you, bro.
And now we lost you.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck! This whole technical side of things is a mess, man. Oh my god, it's a mess. So, did we go into the next matchup?
We can, just because we've both voted Young Bucks.
Well, the chat's going off. We'll go ahead and buy some time.
Vote Young Bucks. I'm not happy about that though, because Adam Page is a goddamn treasure.
Yes,
and he is the best thing in AEW. I don't care what I knew about the Young Bucks beforehand or Adam Page beforehand. He is literally the only reason, next to Luchasaurus, that I even watch AEW. The shit that he does, I'm all about it, and I am so mad that both him and Aleister Black are not making. I can't wait to watch him buckshot Kenny Omega in his goddamn stupid mouth.
Guys, just because of Matt's technical issues, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to add to his argument a little bit, okay? Because you guys did get a lot of time to talk about the Bucks where he couldn't interject. I want to back his voice. You got to take current stock into consideration with the fans. Right now, the Young Bucks are, whatever reason you guys have to be thinking about it, they're not in the tag team title picture. They're not the main tag team on the show. However, anytime Adam Page is on screen, he is the man so far on there. He's drinking beer with the people. Current stock alone, Adam Page has got to get the people's vote.
Unfortunately, the people aren't voting here, and it's the three of us, and RN and I both are voting Young Bucks. And again, I I go ahead and give them the cachet. If it wasn't for the Bucks and Cody, there is no AEW. So there's no platform for Hangman Page to get over the way he is without the Young Bucks. So Young Bucks, I'm sorry, man.
I understand that he's still better than them in ring and more entertaining and the best thing that they've got going.
So
That's debatable. That's debatable.
I would
All right.
draft him over anyone on that roster over to NXT or Raw or SmackDown.
all right. So Young Bucks go through. I tried, Matt. I tried to get them through for you, man. Last matchup. Not the last matchup. Excuse me. Next matchup: Orange Cassidy taking on the other half of him, in which is SCU.
No. You gotta mess. You're thinking.
Oh, I'm thinking best friends. Excuse me.
You're
My
thinking best
apologies.
friends.
My apologies. I swear I'm a professional.
But SCU, Orange Cassidy, man. How do you not
Orange
vote for
Cassidy.
him? How do you not vote for Orange Cassidy? Matt, where you going here?
I'm going SCU because Scorpio Sky is my shit. I'm a fan of Kazarian, and I'm a fan of Christopher Daniels from their time when I did watch Impact. And I just don't like Chuck Taylor. Like it's hard because I love.
No. This isn't a vote for best friends. It's just Orange Cassidy versus SCU.
Oh, I must have cut out then. Then no, it's Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, there you go. Clean sweep. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy is just the man.
Yeah, I would have gone SCU until I saw the next his match against Pac and how the crowd reacted to him and everything, and I was like, okay, I might not be getting it, but I'm not blind either, and the people go nuts for Orange Cassidy, man.
Yeah.
Vince talked about on one of our shows, like he can really fucking wrestle, and that was something. I'm kind of glad that they held back on it on AEW till now to show the people that it's not just a comedy act. Like he can really go in the ring.
There we go. Hey, I'll take what we can get. Can we still hear you, Matt?
I think so.
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
All right, we'll
Beautiful.
take it, Ben.
All right, so let's move on to the next one, and we'll let Matt chime in first, so that just in case his audio cuts out.
I know, yeah. we just-
I'm on my phone now, so you guys should be good. Unless my phone dies, and it's good.
Well, we've learned that Discord has a bad rap with phones, so we'll see. The Apex... Oh, wait, no, not the Apex. God damn it, what am I thinking of? The Alpha, Chris Jericho, taking on current women's champion Nyla Rose.
So this is pointless. It's Chris Jericho. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard
that
to
fucking
vote
theme
against
song.
Jericho. Yeah.
That Judas with the choir, like that's what kind of got me into watching AEW. They finally talked me into watching that pay-per-view, and the choir singing Judas was just the dopest shit ever, bro. Like that was, yeah. We don't even need to talk about this. This is Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is basically just a squash match, unfortunately, for Nyla. She had the short end of the stick, just like Dakota Kai. You're going up against the GOAT, Chris Jericho. I'm sorry, you're going to get squashed.
I still think Dakota Kai should have made it through. No, I'm with you guys. Jericho's one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, that's all you got to say.
Right.
Goro in the chat is chiming in. It says, Jericho has never, ever been truly relevant since he lost to Ralphus. I'm more or less bringing this up because I have no idea who Ralphus is. I'm trying to figure it out.
Ralphus was this like fat like Gilbert. Ralphus was like his like right hand man that used to come to the ring with him when he was in WCW. He had like no teeth and wore like a halter.
Yeah, I
top
wasn't a
and shit.
WCW guy. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I thought he was making this up. I thought he was just trolling us in the chat. Goro,
That's why I'm
okay.
here
come
for
on,
the
Goro,
school
get
you.
with it, man.
That's why I'm here to school you young dogs. Let y'all know what it is back in the day.
All right.
Okay, tranquilo.
I'm with RN 100%. Like, I can't believe you guys. I know who Ralphus was. I was that, but I mean, I don't understand how losing to Ralphus means he's not relevant for the rest of his career. 'Cause everything in his career was after that. So,
Yeah.
And that was literally like 40 years ago. So.
Well, Goro just said we made the list for not knowing, so. All right. Last up, going on here. Last up, the newly formed Dark Order or I guess I wouldn't say newly formed, but newly added to. I don't know. We got the Dark Order taking on the arriving Matt Hardy.
Oof.
I think these are it's pretty easy for me. Dark Order.
Oh wow!
Wait, you just said Dark Order?
Yeah, when I could have swore he was going to say Matt.
I'm going Matt, dude. Because here's the thing: I don't know enough about Dark Order, and we're still like the notion's still out on how Brody Lee is going to fit as the leader of that faction. Broken Matt Hardy, we know what to expect, and we've seen great things from him. And I'm just gonna go with him. He just has the cachet for me. He has
But
the
your
name
argument
value.
is exactly why I didn't go, why you shouldn't go, because at least with the Dark Order, you've never seen it before. It's new. Player
Sorry.
Uno, I mean, the man's magic on the mic, and then now you're seeing this other version and a better version of Luke Harper, whatever the hell his name is now, but
Brody Lee. I don't know, man.
Matt is the better Hardy. Matt is the better Jackson.
Wow.
No.
Matt Hardy, 100%. Listen, Dark Order, they fucked up that debut. They've done a lot to get back to relevance since they fucked up that debut with AEW. But up until Brody Lee showed up over the last few weeks, they actually kind of lost me. I'm not big on Grayson. I'm not big on Evil Uno. They keep trying to recruit people, but they're not adding anyone to the faction. They're failing. Two guys who I don't even know their names right now, and they've been part of that faction for like a month. It's Matt Hardy, 100%.
How many times can we do this broken shit?
Hey, it's working, man. Hey, he got Chris Jericho to argue with a goddamn drone. What has Dark Order done to Chris
He
Jericho?
followed it up with arguing with his Roomba as well.
Yeah.
Because the drone shit went over so well, he cut a promo on his Roomba online. So I guess Matt Hardy goes through. Goro is blowing up our chat about Matt Hardy. He is not happy with this choice. He says if Matt Hardy's health level is as it always is, he will delete himself within a few months. His body is broken.
Oh, man.
Dude,
well,
I fucking lost my
unfortunately,
shit
Goro
with that.
isn't voting. We are,
Yeah.
and we've spoken.
Matt Hardy goes through. So that is
I
it.
think that's the
That's the first
round, right?
Yep, that's the first round. So I'm gonna do it a little bit different than Vince's sheet here, which he had Raw bracket taking on SmackDown bracket, and then NXT taking on AEW. I kind of want to see the final four being old guard taking on new guard the whole way through to determine the finals. So we're gonna go back to Raw next, but let's go ahead and transition. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling. So the first matchup on Raw is going to be Asuka taking on Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
Seth Rollins for me.
I got Asuka, man. I'm sorry. Like, I love Seth Rollins. I think he's good, but man, just,
Bro, you gotta keep that
It's
same
Asuka,
energy,
man.
bro. Keep that same energy. You're
I am, but
I'm
I'm keeping it with Asuka, man. I'm keeping it with Asuka. I'm more entertained with what Asuka has done, even though she has. I've been like whatever she's doing. I'm so entertained by. Whether she's on YouTube, whether she's on NXT, SmackDown, Raw, whatever she's doing, I think she's great on commentary. Just being a distraction on the side, I think she's amazing. I think there's a lot of untapped potential there. And Seth Rollins has hit a couple like parts in his career where he just doesn't do anything and he's just dull and boring. So Asuka is for me. I'm voting Asuka here, man.
I'm going Rollins, which is weird because I didn't vote Rollins in the first round and I did vote Asuka.
Right.
They have utterly mishandled Asuka since she did not beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. And from that point on, even throwing the tag team titles on her with Kairi Sane, they've mishandled that. They told us they're going to be defended on all three brands and they're going to move around. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And then they fucked that up too. They even took away her mist.
Right.
Where's the mist been? Like, that was the best part of what she's been doing lately, and they took that away. So, even though Rollins has been up and down for me, overall, looking at, as Vince always likes to say, championships and things accomplished, in WWE strictly, I've got to go Rollins.
Facts.
How dare you use my own argument against me?
Keep that same energy,
That's what I was
Vince.
talking about. Looks, man, I play how I get.
All right. So what we got next?
I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody. Who did y'all push through?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins? Oh, man.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to push for Asuka, Kyle, but I couldn't.
It's okay. Okay, so the next matchup is going to see Samoa Joe taking on Charlotte Flair.
Ooh.
If this isn't easy for you guys, something's fucking wrong here, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to overstep my boundaries.
I'm going to piss some of you guys off and say Charlotte. I think she has more success than Samoa Joe. And just like you were using the argument with Asuka, Samoa Joe, you can say, has been misused. He has only held the U.S. title since his NXT title run, and he constantly injured. Charlotte is arguably Miss WrestleMania. She puts on some of the best matches. Even though a lot of people don't like her, I think Charlotte is the better person here in this matchup.
I gotta agree with you on this one, Vince. Charlotte for me.
Yeah, Charlotte with the clean
Joe,
sweep.
just because I can't see Joe walk out of this tournament without at least one vote this round.
There you go, man. There you go.
Okay.
So next up is going to be Rey Mysterio taking on AJ Styles. Whoo, we getting some tough ones now.
Ooh.
Who was it? I didn't hear it. You cut out.
Okay, Rey Mysterio taking on AJ Styles.
AJ for me.
AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio.
Dude, Rey been around for like 50 years and still goes hard.
I'm going Rey Mysterio, man. If you want to talk longevity, Rey Mysterio has a longer career than AJ Styles. He's more likable, and again, who doesn't like Rey Mysterio? And I'm sorry, it's Rey Mysterio for me. Latino vote here too.
I love that Aaron raises his hand. Who doesn't like Rey? Aaron, don't hesitate,
bro.
Man.
So I'm gonna say something that might make Vince mad, might make a lot of people mad, but Rey Mysterio is great. He might have only ever won that championship because Eddie died, though.
Right.
Oh my God.
Facts.
Fair point.
Facts.
Fair point.
Oh man.
AJ did something no one has done. He came from outside of the company, did not go through NXT, debuted on the main roster,
Kept his
at
name.
Royal Rumble, and they blew the fuck up. Everyone knows who AJ is. AJ, they both can still go.
Yeah.
But
I would
AJ's been more significant recently than Rey has.
I would argue that's first off, I wouldn't argue that at all. I would argue the opposite. I would say Rey Mysterio has been more relevant. He's had a WWE title match with Brock Lesnar. He's made a better impact, and he's also been U.S. champion just like AJ Styles. That's who he beat for the title, by the way. Also, too, I would say that AJ Styles happens to be at the right place at the right time. You swap those roles. AJ Styles never wins that WWE title if he was around Rey Mysterio's time when he came in. If Rey Mysterio comes in the time that AJ Styles does and shows up in the Royal Rumble with his cachet that he's had in New Japan, in Mexico, and in the States, he is a bigger name than AJ Styles worldwide. And Rey Mysterio, had he came in when AJ did, Rey Mysterio would have been in the same exact spot as AJ Styles.
Nobody's arguing that. We're not arguing about legacies or what their overall career is. That's not what we're saying. But as a wrestler, right now, here and now, where we're at, AJ Styles is...
I still take Rey Mysterio here, right here and right now.
That's your heart. That's not actual facts or any real logic behind it.
I'd rather see a Rey Mysterio match than an AJ Styles match.
You are smoking dope, bro. You need
So
to
we
be
got.
drug tested.
What's that leave
You need to be
everybody?
drug tested.
We got 2 for AJ or 2 for Mysterio?
2 for AJ for sure.
Damn, man. Oh,
AJ's got better hair.
no one is denying that. Yeah, AJ has got.
Hey, his wife be having him slayed.
Oh my God, dude.
He's got better hair than half the divas.
They need to bring back the shampoo promo that they did between Edge and fucking Booker T, and they got to do it with AJ Styles all over again. All right, so last up
Kyle, your wife's in the chat and she agrees with me. Yes, she loves Rey Mysterio. Come on, man.
My own wife is turning in on us.
Sentiment. It's not actual in ring. did have
And we
his
can use
time.
whatever we. Okay. Look, you voted for AJ Styles over Rey Mysterio, but we can use whatever criteria we want here. Remember, you
Oh
voted.
man,
Your criteria's ass on this.
Okay,
And
whatever.
You chose who's better. You chose who you loved,
Jesus
and I chose
Christ.
who had better hair. So
Goro just dropped a nuke in the chat. It said, have Val Venus be AJ's manager and do a shower promo where he hands him shampoo. Like, I don't even know what to fucking think about that.
I don't know what to do with that information.
I don't know what to do with that, Goro, but that was...
How about we move on to the next
Let's
matchup?
move on to the final Raw.
Val Venus, Jesus.
Christ, dude. Hey, look, I got a high-level Blastoise, or Venusaur that I named Val Venusaur. I'm proud of that one, by the way.
Love the pun game. The pun game is strong.
Becky Lynch taking on Kevin Owens, you guys, for the final on Raw.
Kevin
All
Owens
right,
for me.
Or
Kevin
semifinals.
Owens. I'm sorry.
Kevin Owens for me by far.
Becky Lynch. She's accomplished way more than Kevin Owens in WWE. You want to talk about right now? You want to use the same criteria? Keep that same energy, RN. What has Kevin Owens done recently? He's on and off again with Seth Rollins.
I'm voting with my heart. Kevin Owens.
I still got Becky Lynch here, man.
I'm just not into the Becky Lynch stuff. I mean, and like I said, then you put Kevin Owens there, I can't help it. Sorry.
Kevin
It's all
Owens is
good.
the one that took Aleister Black out of this tournament, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
man moved.
The man moves on,
Spite.
dude. Oh my god. With that alone puts Becky Lynch through. Holy shit.
Spite.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. So that's it for the quarterfinals on Raw. Let's go over to the quarterfinals on NXT, and we will start it off with Adam Cole taking on Finn Balor.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm gonna go.
You
Adam
guys
Cole
go
on
first.
this one. I'm gonna go Adam Cole.
Oh man. Matt, where are you going here, man?
I voted Dakota Kai over Adam Cole, so I'm gonna vote Finn Balor over Adam Cole.
Man, this was hard because they're both equally attractive. You could argue. Neither of them.
I think Finn's
Neither-
way more attractive.
I mean, you could argue that. You can argue the
Adam
case
Cole
for
got that
either
big ass
man.
head on that little body, man. I don't know.
Hey, man, he's got a smile that goes on for miles. So I don't know, man. Shit. It's hard to pick here, but again, Adam Cole just recently broke Finn Balor's longest reigning NXT title record, so maybe it's Adam Cole again right now with the
But-
upset. So
Finn Balor has done more in just NXT, has had more high-profile matches, has put on a better show as NXT champion than Adam Cole. I know we talked about how they haven't used Adam Cole, and that's not necessarily Adam Cole's fault, but if we look at criteria and what we've seen and done, his matches against Shinsuke, his matches against Samoa Joe, what we've got from Finn Balor just in NXT, everything else aside, Finn Balor's the better pick.
I'm sorry, man. I'm staying with Adam Cole, man. I'm sorry.
I mean,
It was a tough one to make.
I kind of agree with you, but that's also not Adam Cole's fault that you don't have those Hall of Fame international stars there with you at the same time like Finn did.
I hear that, but I'm just
Damn.
saying, I enjoyed Finn's run in NXT as champion better than I have Cole's.
Damn, so Cole moves on.
I wouldn't hate you for that.
Following that up is going to be the person I used my veto on, Shayna Baszler, taking on the team of the Broserweights.
Oh, Broserweights, hands down. I'm sorry. Just on the entertainment value alone, it's the Broserweights. And if you want to match up career versus career, Pete Dunne might just go over Shayna Baszler just on that alone, or Matt Riddle over Shayna Baszler alone. Put them together, this is like Vegito versus Super Boo. It's over. It's a wrap.
Matt, don't make me waste my veto. Don't let me
This
waste
is
my
hard for me.
veto.
This is my favorite male wrestler in NXT and my favorite. Well, I guess she's not in NXT anymore. Go ahead, Matt. I'll let you go.
So we've talked about how I feel about both Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, and I didn't really talk about Shayna too much because I thought Bianca should go over. I talked about why, but I will say this: Shayna has been the most dominant female champion in NXT, maybe just behind Asuka, who never lost. But the matches that Shayna's put on, her intensity, she's someone that I was looking forward to going to the main roster and doing until she bit the shit out of Becky's neck, which questionable choice, but it made the podcast fun to talk about. I need to see that hippie stop here. I love Pete Dunne. I need to cut Riddle off here, so I'm going Shayna.
Jesus. All right, Arn, it's on you, man.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna go Broserweights.
What the fuck? Oh my god, no! No! I gave you my veto, RN. What the fuck?
I had to throw a fucking monkey wrench in there somewhere.
Oh, I love you so much right now, dog. Woo, shit.
Cannot fucking believe this.
It's the only reason why I did this because this is why I didn't want to have tag teams versus individual people. But together, collectively, what they have, you can't stop.
Dude.
I think individually, Shayna Baszler could take out both Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne.
I believe that too.
That's
I
debatable.
think she could choke both of them out. Well, I don't know. Matt Riddle still has the fastest knockout at UFC.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, man.
God.
Thank you for wasting that veto.
I feel fucking violated right now, man. Let me get back to hosting. I'm non-partial. God damn it.
Okay.
Next up is going to be the team. I can't even get my shit straight. I'm heartbroken right now. Keith Lee taking on Velveteen Dream.
Ooh, why you gotta do this to me?
You guys did it to yourself.
I argued hard for Velveteen Dream, and I meant everything I said. But right now, hands down, Keith Lee is my guy in NXT. He's my favorite person to watch. He makes me enjoy NXT every week. I look forward to him. I see him being the biggest superstar going forward out of anyone on that NXT roster. So it's Keith Lee for me all day.
Go ahead, Owen.
Oh my god.
I don't know on this one because I feel like Velveteen Dream was going to be next up before he got hurt, before Keith Lee. So I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Keith Lee. I wanna add the caveat that both guys I feel like are transcendent superstars. I feel like once they go to main roster, they're gonna blow the fuck up. Especially Keith Lee. You've seen the taste of that, especially during Survivor Series. In that build-up, you can argue he was the star of NXT. And his segment alone with Brock Lesnar, I was voting for him to win the entire Royal Rumble. And you know what? CM Punk likes Keith Lee. He voted for Keith Lee to win that Rumble, and I'm gonna vote for Keith Lee here too. I think Keith Lee is the biggest draw between the two.
Plus, there's a bigger chance that they're gonna fuck up Velveteen Dream's gimmick on the main roster than they are Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very true.
They're gonna fuck it up for sure.
So, we're all in agreement. Keith Lee here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Right. No, it's true though, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna take Velveteen Dream and make him the next Goldust. Yeah, they're not going to know what to do with him. They're not. They're going to see that androgynous nature of his and lean all of a sudden his gimmick will just be his sexuality, and it'll be very shallow.
Vince is looking for a white Bronco right now for his main roster debut.
Right.
Oh my god.
Probably.
So last up for the quarterfinals on NXT will be Io Shirai taking on the surprising Johnny Gargano, when we thought Tommaso Ciampa was the easy shoe-in for the spot.
I was voting for Johnny Gargano, but I'm wearing the Io Shirai shirt. I like Io Shirai way more than Johnny Gargano. There hasn't been a single point in Io's career where I haven't been invested. She has a banger theme song. Even her other theme song was a banger. I think she's the better wrestler, and she's more attractive than Johnny Gargano. So Io Shirai for me.
I'm going Johnny Gargano. I think that he's going to be, once he gets on the main roster too, especially how he's literally probably going to be the smallest person in the building at every single fucking time. They're going to eat that white meat, baby.
I hate doing this to RN all the time, but this is another spite vote because Johnny should not
Goddamn spite.
Hey man, it's a hell of a drug.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, Vince knows Io's my girl too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, you gotta make some tough choices in this tournament.
No, that wasn't hard at all. He took out Ciampa. He's gone.
All right.
Wow.
All right,
so Io Shirai outlasts both Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. One of the many great stories from tonight's tournament, I must say. So that'll take us straight into our next set of quarterfinals for this SmackDown brand, and we kick it off with Alexa Bliss taking on the Artist Collective.
Alexa Bliss.
Artist Collective? Just because I want to weigh their entire careers against Alexa outside of WWE as well. I'm going Artist Collective.
Vince sounds like he is trying to convince himself.
Right.
Shut up. It's a tough matchup. I don't want them to advance a little bit more. I love Shinsuke. I love Sami and Cesaro, but collectively they might not be the best. I know I'm arguing against myself right now, but that's where my vote's going.
If we go by criteria, Alexa has done more than that entire group combined. As singles competitors, taking out Cesaro from the bar. As singles competitors, she has done more than that entire group combined. She is better on the mic than 2 out of 3 of the people in that group. Arguably, possibly better than Sami, but definitely better than Cesaro. Definitely Sami. Oh.
Oh, no.
Did we lose Vince?
We did, and our windows just got all jacked up. If you're watching...
Half your window's covering half my face.
Oh my god. Yeah, if you're watching the video version of this, Vince just dropped out and completely jacked up the cropping of this show. Oh,
I'm glad I didn't do that when my shit fucked up.
No, you didn't, man. No, you didn't. We'll give Vince a second. He's very devoted. If I know Vince the way I do, he's sweating right now, trying to connect
Does
as
this look
quickly
the
as he
same on
can.
my screen as it does on y'all's?
What do you mean?
Like half of the screen is Matt. I'm wedged in the middle like this tall. And like your screen is like covering half of my screen.
No.
I'm gonna send you guys a picture of it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I knew this was going to happen when we had a long show. Like, I was like, yeah, we have a long show with 4 people. Well, anyways, I'll hop over to the live chat. Just go ahead and catch us up there while we try to get this show back on the road. Goro, once again, man, just nonstop with his stuff. I said I would hold off on this comment till Charlotte came back around, but I'll give you guys a taste of it really quick. He says... legend has it, they say if you woo 3 times, you get one of Ric Flair's many STDs and a small amount of his alimony payment to his ex-wives.
I see Vince.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. That was good timing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro. You're back.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Sorry, I have no idea what the fuck happened. I think that was just Discord that dropped the whole thing.
They say Matt Hardy is currently trying to delete this podcast.
Yeah. Probably it's what it is. So where did we leave off on?
Okay, so who did we put through between Bliss and the Artist Collective?
Oh, Bliss went through.
Bliss made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we both said Bliss.
All right, so here we go. Next up, we're going to see Naomi taking on the uphill battle that is Bray Wyatt.
Ooh. I'm
So-
voting Naomi because she's more attractive.
The fuck, Vince?
So
This is
here's the
great
thing.
for me.
I was going to say there are certain people in this tournament that no matter who they go against, they get my vote, and Bray is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Man. I'm voting for Naomi because I know you guys are going with Bray, but I'll be damned if Naomi gets eliminated without getting the vote. So Naomi's getting the vote.
I hear you. I did that once.
There you go. You just wanted to make sure they had a vote. Okay,
Yeah.
so easily to
And,
move on.
You're moving with Fiend, right?
Yeah, you guys said
Yeah.
they both said Bray.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. That's my bad.
All right. Next up, where representation cannot play a factor because we got Sasha Banks taking on New Day. So now this is the tough criteria. This is a tough one for me, man.
Sasha Banks. You can argue she's won as many titles as the New Day, but she's put on more classics from a younger point in her career. It wasn't until New Day hit that heel form in their faction where they took off. And I think, honestly, I don't think Sasha's had a bad match where in the New Day, sometimes if they're missing a member, they could be missing the key component to their group. And honestly, favoritism here. Sasha is my favorite wrestler behind Eddie Guerrero. She's number 2 all time for me. I can't not vote for Sasha Banks.
I bet you Vince's top 3 favorite wrestlers is Eddie Guerrero and then Sasha Banks and Rey Mysterio because they love Eddie Guerrero.
Well,
followed
Rey
up
and
with
Eddie
4th is probably Chavo. Like,
No.
it's just Eddie Guerrero's
Cena,
family
first
tree.
Cena.
Then Vicky because she was
Yeah,
married to
Vicky.
Eddie.
Yes. Don't forget Dominic. Like,
I feel like Matt's been wanting to say something for a minute. Go ahead, Matt. You look like you got something on your mind.
I'm really trying to figure out how I want to phrase this, but Big E, former NXT champion, Kofi, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, so on and so forth. New Day as a collective, multiple tag team champions, and nobody in the New Day has ended anyone's career with a shot to the neck. So,
Nah.
New Day.
New Day for me too.
Tough one, man. Tough one. But
That was a tough one.
And here's the thing:
that was a tough.
Xavier Woods and Sasha both took shots on Paige, but only one of them ended her career.
oh my God. With
Facts.
the fucking nuke, bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
New Day goes.
Let's move on.
New Day
Let's
goes
move on.
through. Jesus Christ. And I
That's
thought Goro in the chat had no chill. Fucking Matt Ritter. Holy. No, if you guys were monitoring the Twitch channels chat, Goro over here is going on. I can honestly only say about 5% of what Goro is putting in the chat. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
I
But
might have to jump over to the Twitch chats just to see what's going on.
anyways, the final quarterfinal matchup of the SmackDown brand is going to see Roman Reigns taking on Daniel Bryan.
Ooh, this is where Roman gets.
It feels easy right away, but you have to hesitate.
I'm going Daniel
I don't
Bryan,
know.
man. I'm going Daniel Bryan. I'm sorry. I think I like them both. They're both top guys, but Daniel Bryan is the better wrestler. I think we've seen that he's versatile. He can be a great heel and great baby face. No matter what you throw at him, he usually knocks it out of the park. Roman, you can see that he struggled in a bit. That's no knock on him, but Daniel Bryan, man. Daniel Bryan.
I have
Go ahead, Matt.
been a Superman fan, but I always loved Captain Planet, so I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan as well.
Daniel with the clean sweep. Damn, breaks my heart. One of y'all can't give Roman a pity vote? Jesus.
Dude, I'll sit here and say this. Can we at least argue that like Daniel Bryan's in the conversation for the best wrestler of the decade? Of the last 10 years, he's probably been one of the
Yeah.
best wrestlers.
Yeah, I
and you
can
can't
give
say
him
that
that.
about Roman. So
That's
like
true.
unfortunately it's a matchup situation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm you guys are really fun, and I know like this is not professional of me, but Goro is tearing me up in the fucking chat.
I'm looking at it right now. And I'm looking at half the shit he's putting on here, and I'm like, yeah, you can't say that.
No, this dude, 75% of this cannot make it to air. Anyways, let's go to the quarterfinals of AEW. John Moxley versus the Lucha Bros. This is why you guys need to turn your notification bell on YouTube. Find out when we go live, man, because you got to hear what's going down in this chat sometimes. But yeah, Moxley taking on Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros,
It's easy
man.
for me, Lucha Bros.
Ooh, damn, that was a quick win for Lucha.
Wow. Wow.
I would say that that Moxley's accomplished more than Lucha Bros, but I like Lucha Bros more, and the criteria is whatever we want to use, and I just like Lucha Bros more.
John Moxley is Dean Ambrose. That's my criteria.
Oh my God, dude.
Matt,
I mean, you guys both went Lucha Bros. Lucha Bros moves on. I mean, I'm going Mox, and the reason I'm going Moxley is because I am more familiar with the full criteria, for the most part, of Moxley's work, Dean Ambrose's work, than I am the Lucha Bros. While I do think they're a cool tag team, what I've seen from them in AEW, which is what I'm most familiar with, they haven't really put together a lot of wins or achieved a lot in that company, and that's most of what I'm referencing, no matter how cool they look.
mm-hmm.
I agree with that. They've took some L's for sure.
Yeah, but I would say that's more behind booking. Overall, like I said, criteria, use whatever you want to use for criteria. You just don't like somebody, or you just like the way someone looks more than the other person. We can use whatever we want.
I just don't get the Moxley stuff. I just don't get it. Like
I like Moxley.
Everything he does is the same shit he was doing in WWE. I don't understand how everybody's like, he's so different. No, it's not. It's the exact same shit.
I think it's
he just wears black jeans now instead of blue jeans.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. I do want to vote for Moxley, but unfortunately, Lucha Bros, they got my vote, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with that, there are no more male world champions on this tournament, with the exception of Adam Cole. So he is the only males world champion remaining in this tournament. Lucha Bros,
NXT is the better brand by default. Then they're the better brand by default.
Goldberg didn't even make it on. Like, Goldberg didn't even make it on the tournament.
Good.
Fucking hell. Right. MJF is now taking on Cody. Wow, classic matchup finds itself in our tournament in the quarterfinals.
Go ahead, guys. I'll let you guys go first.
It has to be Cody.
I agree. Cody's great. I really enjoy watching him in the ring. And just that match against Dustin alone from Double or Nothing puts him over anything that I've seen from MJF in-ring wise in AEW. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with that too. I think MJF is a great character, but I would argue that Cody is a great character and a great in-ring wrestler too. He's a great storyteller in and out the ring. He just has more cachet. He's done more. Yeah, Cody.
Yeah.
God dang, man. There it goes.
Plain sweet.
Yep. So, Young Bucks now taking on Orange Cassidy. Two guys with huge stock between you three.
This is tough.
That's not Orange Cassidy. And again, not only is he entertaining, but this is spite because they took out fucking Adam Page. So fuck the Bucks.
I'm going Orange Cassidy.
Wow.
Damn, Vince, you didn't even get a chance. I mean, look, man, I haven't even been running the timer, but do you want to try and sway him?
I mean, I got Young Bucks here. Just.
Do you have any argument though? Do you have some fight in you?
Does it matter? I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against Orange Cassidy. It's just it's like picking between your children. You can't do that. You can't pick a favorite. You guys did the choosing for me, so.
That's not true. I'm clearly my mom's favorite. My dad likes
me too. I'm clearly my mom's favorite.
That might just be a Vince problem,
let's
man.
Let's put that out there. As a parent, if any parent that says they don't have a favorite kid, they're lying.
Well, I'm not a parent, so I'm just going based on the stigma. So yeah, I mean, I'm voting Young Bucks, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Orange Cassidy goes through, and then so last up we got Chris Jericho taking on Matt Hardy. Wow, that matchup is already showing up in our tournament.
Chris Jericho, keep it moving.
Goro says, Matt Ritter, you look like the lost child of Bam Bam Bigelow. I take that as a compliment, dude. Bam Bam's a fucking legend, man.
Hell yeah. I've actually always thought that I look like the missing link between Eric and Ivar.
Yes. I get called Eric on the show all the time, bro. So, yeah, I'll take that.
I'm with them. It's Chris Jericho. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a huge Matt Hardy fan. I've supported Matt Hardy. I've argued that Matt Hardy has been better than Jeff Hardy forever. Just jumped on the Jeff Hardy falling off stuff bandwagon. That kills me. But Jericho has had the longer career. He has had more success. He has successfully reinvented himself in so many ways and just been so entertaining through, I mean, the entire time I've been watching wrestling.
I say that Matt Hardy is just Chris Jericho light. They both have parallel careers. They've both been able to reinvent themselves, but unfortunately, Chris Jericho has just reached bigger heights than Matt Hardy, unfortunately. So, Chris Jericho, unfortunately.
Chris Jericho it is. Hey, can you guys believe we ever got in a tournament about the best wrestler, and Matt Hardy makes it in the conversation, and Jeff Hardy doesn't?
That's
Yes, I
hilarious.
can.
Isn't that's kind of
Yes.
surreal though, if you think about it.
I
Go back what? Before 20 is honestly, if you go back before 2016, anytime before 2016, Jeff Hardy gets on this list and Matt never sniffs it. And the moment Matt got the broken stuff going for him, 2016 allowed him to get in the conversation. But had that broken stuff not happened for Matt, I don't think he'd ever make a tournament like this.
He would if I was booking it because, like I said, Matt Hardy is
I agree
a
with-
better in-ring wrestler. He carried the Hardy Boys in-ring. Jeff is all flash and sizzle. He doesn't even cut that great of a promo. He's the charismatic enigma because he can't really talk, but people still love him because he falls off
Facts.
stuff in a beautiful way.
Facts.
Yeah.
I got to put money on that Matt's got a more charismatic and attractive sibling that he's jealous of. That's
Probably.
It's my sister, and she's way more attractive than me. But
there you go. See, I knew it, man. The ugly sibling always goes with Matt Hardy, bro. No, I'm just playing with you, man. I'm the ugly sibling, and I still choose Jeff. So, oh fuck. Okay, going into the semifinals of Raw, because that's it for the quarterfinals. So, semifinals of Raw, we've got Seth Rollins taking on Charlotte Flair.
Oh man. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
For me, I think.
Wow, that easy.
Unless Matt can swing my way the other direction. Where are you going, Matt?
Seth.
Seth, wow.
I was trying to formulate an
Damn.
argument with Charlotte, and all I could formulate was I like the way she looks in her ring gear better than I do Seth, and that isn't enough at this point to sway me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, unfortunately, man. At this point, you got to take looks out of the equation because at this point, everybody's attractive if you made it this far.
That's really what it's turning into, like wrestlers hottest of 2020. Motherfuckers. Seth Rollins moves into Raw's finals. Meeting him there is going to be either AJ Styles or Becky Lynch.
I already know where RM's going here because he's been that way for the last 2 rounds of Raw. So
I'm
It's
going
AJ. I don't understand that. Like,
It's a battle for Becky right now. It's what it is.
Becky Lynch is for me. I'm sorry. I like Becky more than AJ.
I got to go AJ, and it's not necessarily I like Becky better, but AJ has been consistent a lot longer than Becky. Becky has just been the man in this great character for a little over a year now, and only one of these 2 people is qualifying for a match against The Undertaker.
I'm sure
Yes.
we could get Becky
Yes,
Lynch in there
I'm
against
sure
The Undertaker.
Becky will get there.
Yeah, I'm sure if any woman could, it'd be Becky. I'm so pissed that she didn't give Stone Cold a stunner on the episode of Raw the other week. She
should've.
should have stunnered the shit out of him.
All right, man.
All right, so moving on to the semifinals of NXT, we have Adam Cole surviving, taking on the Broserweights. All of
I don't
these
know where to
hurt
go
Vince
with.
at this point, man. Vince is like all of Vince's favorite guys have gotten through, I feel.
Oh man. Matt, Arn, you guys go first. I want to hear your arguments and see where you guys sway me.
I mean,
I'm torn on this one too.
I don't really have an argument. I'm going Adam Cole because even though I haven't voted for Adam Cole the last 2 rounds, Adam Cole is the NXT champion right now. He is the guy carrying that brand. And as much as I like Pete Dunne hasn't. He was that guy for NXT UK, but he hasn't been that guy on the main NXT brand. And we already talked about how I feel about the guy who caught my name. So
Yeah, and if you could say it, though, Adam Cole looks to have longevity where Matt Riddle might be a flash in the pan. No offense to him. I'm saying he might be. I'm not saying he is, but I'm just...
Arn, where you going here, man? I know we're
I don't
both
know. I'm
struggling.
torn. I'm torn.
You know what? How about I spare you from having to choose and just say Adam Cole and move this along?
All right. I'll
right.
take it.
RN
Alright,
did
man.
not want blood on his hands here.
I did
All
not.
right.
I
Adam
had
Cole.
to do it.
Because Vince knows how I feel about these people. Like we do the show every week. He knows where my heart is.
So Adam Cole will be in the NXT finals, taking on either Io Shirai or Keith Lee?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Damn.
Oh, that was quick.
I have to, man. I have to keep voting for Io until like she gets voted off, man. I'm wearing her shirt.
I respect that, but the answer is Keith Lee. So.
Yeah, it is.
It's Keith Lee.
It is Keith Lee, man.
All right, man. It was tough, man. I had to kind of hope that Arn would have like just voted for Io because I knew where Matt was going. All
right. Moving over to the quarterfinals of SmackDown, we see. Oh God! Every time it feels like a lamb to the slaughter. Alexa Bliss taking on Bray Wyatt.
Ooh, Bray Wyatt, man. I'm sorry.
Bray.
We've gotten to a point where Matt, what you thinking, man?
I was just looking at Alexa Bliss in that Freddy Krueger gear earlier. No, the answer is Bray, man.
The answer is Bray, man. Dude, Bray with easily the least debated time on air. Bray is just flying through this competition.
Because it's getting serious now.
Yeah, man.
And because SmackDown is ass, and there's nobody good on SmackDown but Bray.
RN, you may have a point worth arguing. Yeah, well, you can't. If you guys are watching the pod or listening to the podcast, everyone's pulling out their Fiend Funko Pops. You can't see it on mine, so I'll just describe it on mine. I actually have the Fiend facing off against Thugonomics John Cena with Mean Gene Okerlund.
I don't have the Fun Pop, but I do have a couple Fiend shirts.
There you go.
There you go.
Man, we are a bunch of fucking losers. New Day taking on Daniel Bryan.
Wait, who?
New Day taking on Daniel Bryan for the last spot in the SmackDown Finals.
I hate to do this.
This is New Day.
I hate to do this, but I'm going Daniel Bryan, and the reason I'm going Daniel Bryan is solely based on the criteria that we said best wrestler tournament, and I don't want to see a team make it to the Final Four when it's best wrestler, not best wrestlers. So,
and the New Day are one of the last two teams.
Because I'm going with Daniel Bryan because he has the more longevity. They're both equally as good. I like them both as heels or baby faces, but Daniel Bryan, again, wrestler of the decade probably, and New Day maybe halfway through the decade they got into the groove of things. So Daniel Bryan for me. Sorry, New Day. I love you guys.
All right. Shoot. So we got Daniel Bryan. Okay.
Don't worry, he won't make it out of SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. Man, I want to be part of the debate for that one.
Okay.
Lucha Bros. Yeah, AEW's quarterfinals. We'll see Lucha Bros taking on Cody.
I love Lucha Bros, but this is where I go against them and say Cody Rhodes.
Whoa, I think that's your first vote against a Hispanic.
I do because I'm taking it more seriously. Like initially, like the first round, second round, I'm able to play with more who I like, and I like Lucha Bros. I think Pentagon is a better wrestler. Phoenix is a better wrestler than Cody, but they're right now Cody Rhodes is the bigger star, and that's what we're here to determine.
It's Cody. Let's just skip this. Come on.
Yeah, Cody.
Damn, clean sweep against the Lucha Bros. Last up, damn. Okay, so this one I didn't even realize was here until I just read it. Orange Cassidy taking on Chris Jericho. All-time versus current best in some people's
I'm just
eyes.
going to give a legacy vote to Orange Cassidy here. And let Matt make
do that?
Matt's going to be the determining factor here.
I'm going to let Matt do this because I just want to see where he'd go with this, just to put him on the spot and make him have to make a tough decision, and I'm going Orange Cassidy.
I don't know if
he's
going to
be
be
the
tough
tiebreaker
for him.
It's not a tough decision because I'm going Orange Cassidy.
Holy shit!
I have a respect for a man who does as little as possible and still succeeds. Jericho has done the most to succeed. Orange Cassidy has done the least, and I respect that. So I'm going Orange Cassidy in this one.
If that ain't the quote of the fucking decade.
I'm loving it, man. I love it.
This is ass.
Oh my god, dude.
Ass.
I am not gonna lie. That's sign, seal, and deliver. That is the.
Don't get me wrong. I'm an Orange Cassidy mark for sure. But that was a fucking travesty.
Also,
shit.
I may have a little bit of hate for Chris Jericho for becoming
Another spite vote, motherfucker. All your votes have been spite votes.
I'm a spiteful motherfucker, man. Like I said,
This motherfucker, Matt Spite. That's what you should change your name to.
Matt Spite. Hey, you wouldn't get confused with Matt Riddle anymore. Oh man! All
You
right.
spiteful son of a bitch.
Holy shit.
Jeez. Okay.
We kick off the tournaments quarterfinals with the finals of Raw. We see Seth Rollins taking on AJ Styles. The winner will take on the winner of the NXT finals. Seth Rollins
for me.
versus
Seth Rollins.
AJ. Wow.
sorry.
Seth versus AJ. You guys are both going Seth.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going Seth.
I'm going AJ.
Look, man. Maybe it's like right now, Seth's doing more interesting stuff than AJ's done. I feel like AJ's hits more plateaus in his WWE career than Seth has.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be vote, but I'm sorry, man. Whose championship reign felt more significant? Seth Rollins hiding behind the Authority, or AJ Styles leading SmackDown for that year straight? AJ felt like a
Seth
way
Rollins
more.
hiding behind the Authority still felt more legit than AJ Styles.
Exactly.
That's fucked up, man.
And Seth Rollins has been the face of Raw for the past how many years?
And AJ
He has to
Styles
take this.
built SmackDown, and when he left, it fucking fell to shit. Like, my thing is,
Good
AJ
point.
Styles has succeeded in Impact, succeeded on Raw, succeeded on SmackDown, succeeds wherever he goes. And I don't want to see a guy with a man bun in the finals, so I'm going to go with the mom haircut, and I'm going AJ. I know it don't matter. You guys are both at.
And I've been AJ's biggest proponent throughout this whole tournament, but the last, 5-6 years, the face of Raw, he's been at the top of the card the entire time, whether you liked it or hate him. It's
You know
Seth
what?
Rollins.
Seth Rollins,
I'm a swerve here and change it to AJ Styles and have him move on to the final four.
Shit. AJ
I'm changing it to AJ Styles. I'm sorry, man.
I'm not mad at it.
AJ Styles is in my top 10 of all time wrestler, and Seth Rollins isn't, so I'm gonna do that.
What was it that you made? What was it that made you sway your vote? He just want to be a wild card?
Yeah,
There you go.
I don't know, man.
No shame in that.
It was evenly. You know what?
I'm not mad at it. I've been voting for him the entire tournament, so I'm not
You
mad
can't
at
go
it
wrong
at all.
here. I honestly, you can't go wrong here as a Raw representative. You can't go wrong here. They're both really great. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna flip it to AJ. Just
There you
whatever.
go, man. Hey, listen. Only one of these guys can you associate with the new series Tiger King. Okay? Like, that's AJ Styles pointing out Undertaker with the Tigers and stuff. Which, have you guys... Hey, sorry, a little side note. Have y'all seen Tiger King yet?
Hell
No,
yeah,
not
that's
yet.
my shit, bro.
I haven't.
Oh my god.
Dude, the
So
Myrtle...
many twists and turns.
Oh my god, dude. So the one in Myrtle Beach, that's the one Undertaker went and visited with his Tigers.
Yeah.
Was the Myrtle
Doc.
Beach guy. Doc, yeah.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't seen it, sorry, man. Unofficial plug for Tiger King on Netflix. Go watch that shit. It's crazy. All right, let's move on. Adam Cole taking on Keith Lee in the finals of NXT to take on AJ Styles in the finals of Raw.
This is a tough one for me. I'll let you guys go.
It got real
We've
quiet.
already done it. We've already raised our hand, given our
giving
energy
the energy
to the sport. Keith Lee, man. We've already raised our hands, man.
If you're not watching the YouTube version, yeah, we have Vince and Matt over here raising their hands, powering up that spirit bomb that just projected Keith Lee into the semifinals of this whole tournament. Damn, like that, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, just updating the bracket here. So,
All right, what we got next?
the next semifinal matchup, we'll see the finals of SmackDown. Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan for the upset here. I'm sorry.
Matt, you gotta
right.
try and sway him. Matt's over here showing off his Fiend Pop.
I don't know if I can sway you. The Fiend has done some of the best gimmick and character work of the last decade, outside of The Undertaker. Just what he's done, his presence on the mic, Everything that he's now created with the Firefly Funhouse, which is unique and fun, and then the Fiend character and the split personality. It's been great. Yes, Daniel Bryan had a yes movement behind him that propelled him, to WrestleMania and so on and so forth. And in ring, he is incredible. I think Bray's in-ring talent is sometimes overlooked because his character and his mic skills are as good as they are, but he's still, for someone his size, amazing. And he's the guy that I said, there's one guy in each brand that I'm going to vote over everyone. I don't care who they come up against until the Final Four. And this is that guy for me. Like,
to play devil's advocate, I'll say that Bray Wyatt, I'll give him one thing. He arguably is going to have more longevity than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan might not be on TV that much longer.
I will say this, that Daniel Bryan has probably given The Fiend and Bray Wyatt their best matches. Because The Fiend hasn't had too many great matches. He had that abomination of a match with Seth Rollins. That feud was terrible. Then before that, The Miz, it's you can only do so much. And then he squashed Finn Balor, and the one good match was against the guy he's going up against here in Daniel Bryan. And unfortunately for Bray Wyatt, he's hit too many plateaus in his career. There's been so many times where he's just been made a joke out of. Even so recently, losing to Goldberg, that's something that Daniel Bryan hasn't done. He has not lost to 50-something-year-old Goldberg.
Oh my God.
So because of that, Daniel Bryan gets my
That was a deep cut on Matt right there. Oh, that's a deep cut. Daniel,
talk about that shit.
Daniel Bryan.
Because it happened. It happened. I'm sorry.
We have a thing over on the Smacking It Raw podcast where we don't talk about what happens in Saudi. It's non-canon. It's Dragon Ball GT. We don't talk about it.
I mean, I get that, but then how do you explain him not having his title? He just lost it in a steak restaurant, just like Chris Jericho.
The way that he explained it on Twitter, he didn't really give a shit about it, so he just let it go to move on to more things like John Cena.
Hey, I explained it. I explained it was he intentionally. Don't you do that.
I'm putting the bad voodoo out there in the air. I don't want to see that happen, but you never know.
Damn, man. So, yeah, Daniel Bryan moves on to the semifinals of the entire tournament. He is the winner of SmackDown. The last finals of a singles show, we'll see AEW's finals. We see Cody taking on the likes of Orange Cassidy.
I really want to vote Orange Cassidy here, but I feel like I need to take this seriously. I'll let you guys vote. RN, go first, and then Matt, I'll let you say, and then I'll give my final take.
I'm going to go Cody on this one.
And I'm going to go Orange Cassidy. And while my original plan here was to vote Orange Cassidy to the finals because you guys took out the best in AEW right now, and that's Adam Page. So I really just kind of wanted to bomb this whole thing. And as much as I love Cody, in AEW alone, the one good match he's had is against Dustin. Every main event match that we've looked forward to hasn't really delivered. Him versus MJF didn't deliver. Him versus Jericho didn't really deliver. He's put in these great feuds. He has these great builds, and then he gets these matches, and they just bomb. Whereas every time Orange Cassidy is on that camera in front of me, I am entertained. I enjoy seeing him, and I want to see more. And that
How many times has Orange Cassidy wrestled compared to Cody Rhodes?
Orange Cassidy's only actually wrestled once, and it was a banger of a match.
Yeah, true, but in terms of what Cody has done, you know what, man? I want to vote Orange Cassidy here just to see how far I can take him into this tournament. But I'm going Cody Rhodes. I have to give it to Cody, man. I have to. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy, maybe he had 2 matches instead of 1. He might have gotten my vote. But Cody Rhodes for me.
Facts.
Damn,
he did do that whole bathroom thing. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's
right. That?
Yeah, I guess.
The bathroom thing was amazing. No. Matt's not lying there. That is just primo production. Damn. Okay, so Cody makes it. Surprisingly, I was actually really expecting you guys to give Orange Cassidy a unanimous decision on this one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
I was expecting that. All right, so that means we are at the semifinals of the entire thing. We are seeing SmackDown's winner taking on NXT's winner. AJ Styles taking on Keith Lee.
Wait, you just said SmackDown. I thought that was Raw.
Oh, Raw. Excuse me. I still associate AJ Styles with SmackDown. It's the house that AJ Styles built. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Yeah, Raw's final taking on Keith Lee. Excuse me.
Man, I don't know where to go here, guys. What do you guys think? This one's tough.
I'm
just
going
gonna
Keith
use
Lee.
I'm gonna use Vince's criteria. Just going who's been there the longest, who's done the most everywhere he's been. AJ for me.
I'm going Keith Lee, and the reason I'm going Keith Lee is because AJ has signed his final contract with WWE. He is on his way out. He has basically achieved everything he can achieve. There's nothing more left for AJ to do. He is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. He will get in. He's done. Keith Lee, we don't know what Keith can accomplish, but right now the sky is fantastic. I feel like he has the ability with his in-ring promo and the things that he does in-ring and just his whole aura and personality to be the next Stone Cold Rock. That type level of character once he gets to the main roster, and I'm behind that.
Okay, so Matt, you're voting based on potential, and Aaron is voting based on legacy and what they've accomplished. And I will sit here and say that I like them both. I think AJ has accomplished way more than Keith Lee has. They're both great wrestlers, but I think Keith Lee is the better entertainer, and this is an entertainment wrestling show that he's on. And I feel like given the time, he will accomplish everything that AJ Styles has done. I think he would be a future WWE champion, a future IC champion, a future US champion, a future tag team champion. The sky is the limit. He is the limitless one for a reason. Keith Lee, I'm putting my hands up. You're going to the finals, my man.
All right, folks, this is it. The last semifinals of the evening. We have the winner of SmackDown. Now I'm correct in saying that. SmackDown taking on the winner of AEW. Two personal favorites of mine. We are seeing, of course, Daniel Bryan taking on Cody.
Okay. I love Cody. I think his character is great, but just like Matt was arguing him in the previous round that he hasn't had too many great matches, and Daniel Bryan has nothing but great matches. He just put on one of the best matches, more of the better matches that Cody has done with Drew Gulak, and that's probably better than anything Cody has done in AEW aside from that Dustin match. And it was only like a early pay-per-view match. Come on, I'm sorry, it's Daniel Bryan here. Daniel Bryan's going to the finals for me.
I'm going to go with the winner of the AEW bracket, Orange Cassidy.
You can't, because wait. Orange Cassidy didn't win it.
Orange Cassidy?
I'm with you.
I was like, dude, I got real confused there for a moment.
Yeah, you lost me for a second.
That was the plan, and it worked. It was beautiful. I love Cody. Like I said, I want to see more from Cody. I see a lot of potential in Cody, but he's just... The difference between the last round, Cody has the potential and he's not delivering on it. Keith Lee has potential and he is delivering on it. So this time around, I'm going to go Daniel Bryan as well.
Daniel Bryan for me too.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan with the unanimous.
It's kind of hard to not vote Daniel there against Cody, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Which this is what's going to make it uber hard. So we are at the finals, folks. Get it ready. Get it ready. We got to see the winner of NXT surprisingly taking the winner of SmackDown. I thought we were sure we're getting AEW versus NXT. But no, we have, of course, Keith Lee taking on Daniel Bryan. Let's get it.
All right. Where are you guys going here? Are we pushing Keith Lee all the way to the finals?
I am.
Applauding Daniel Bryan's longevity? What do we do?
No. Well, first off, Daniel Bryan took out Bray Wyatt, so it's partially a spite vote. But
damn,
I'm planting my flag. I'm planting my flag for Keith Lee. I've been on the Keith Lee train for a while now, and I want to follow it all the way to the heights and successes that I see for him in the future. I really do think he's going to be a really big deal once he does make it to the main roster. Him and Brock at the Royal Rumble really kind of showed that. Him and Roman Reigns also showed that at Survivor Series. And I told you I was never really a Daniel Bryan guy. I never got on that yes train, that yes movement. Mm-hmm. While I do respect everything he's done, and I do see him as amazing in-ring talent, I see potential beyond what I've seen from Daniel Bryan in Keith Lee if he is used and pushed correctly.
Okay. Man, my thing is y'all the Keith Lee shit was cute in those first couple rounds and coming through NXT, but all this voting for shit that you might see in the future and shit, I don't know what the hell this is. This is Daniel Bryan for me.
Okay.
Y'all doing maybe votes. He may be a star.
Oh, man.
He may win a championship. He may make it to
See?
the. He may end up like half of the NXT stars that make it to the main roster, fucked up and strapped with some stupid ass gimmick where he's walking around with like a bull mask or some stupid shit, whatever Vince comes up with.
Okay.
I am arguing based on what I see from Keith Lee right now. The presence that he has in the ring, the ability that he has on the mic, and the things that he does in ring that a guy his size shouldn't do. That is why I see big things in the future for him. But that's also why I'm voting for him now, because it's like what I said with Kenny Omega. I didn't want to have to go back and see how great Kenny Omega was to talk about how great Kenny Omega should be now. I see how great he is now, so I have to go back and see it and talk about it.
Okay. So I guess it's on me then, right?
It really appears it, man. Go ahead. Determine the whole tournament.
Before that, Kyle, do you want to weigh in on here? See if you can swing my vote towards your direction?
No.
No? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I want no hands in this.
Keith.
That way, if we piss people off, we can blame Vince.
I know, because this is where it's going. It's going to go blaming me. Do we vote the up-and-coming guy, or do we vote Daniel Bryan? I wish I could just flip a coin and have faith decided, you know?
So here's what I will say for you, Vince, to kind of help you. There's two ways of looking at it. Theoretically, you should, the way you've been voting, and if you should vote the way you've been voting, you need to go with what Arn said. I mean, it is what it is. He has accomplished more. He has been around longer. He is that darling that everyone loved. I see where Arn's coming from. But there's also right now, today, to help you choose between what I said and what he said. If you had to sit down and pick a WrestleMania main event, who would you rather see in it? Or Daniel Bryan today?
Today, right now, I'd like to see them go up against each other if I could have it my way. But
me voting for Daniel Bryan is not necessarily a knock or a vote against Keith Lee.
Okay.
No,
I'm just saying in this tournament, what we're voting for,
There must
you guys
be a winner.
are looking at potential and shit that might happen or could happen or you believe is going to happen.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to wrap it up because I feel like Kyle just wants to wrap it up and go to bed. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, folks!
Because as of right now, I like them both equally. I would if you tell me you want Keith Lee's in the WrestleMania main event, I want to see that. If you tell me Daniel Bryan's in the WrestleMania main event, I want to see that. He's been just as entertaining as Keith Lee in on SmackDown with Drew Gulak. He's reinvented himself so many times, and I know Keith Lee will come back in this tournament, make another strong push. But for right now, I'm giving it to the best wrestler of the last 10 years, Daniel Bryan.
Boom.
There it is. You guys heard it here. Daniel Bryan, the winner of the 2020 Wrestling's March Madness. Of course, we'll probably get a lot of hate because we don't have any New Japan people on here. We'll do our due diligence next time, folks. But damn, Daniel Bryan. Okay, that's it, man. Let's go ahead and hit this outro. Thank you guys for joining us. You can always find us on Twitter at SmackDrawPod, myself at the Kai Tai Show. You got Vince and RN stuff up here too, their Twitter handles. Follow them. And then a special thank you to Smacking It Raw, Matt's Ritter, for joining us. What are you showing up? What are you showing, RN?
Oh, I got my own merch made.
You got your own merch, man?
Aaron Real Petty. Yeah. Hey, man, gotta plug your shit, man,
Dude.
just like indie wrestlers.
But
this has been fun. I just want to say thanks, Matt, for joining us. This has been a blast, and I thank you, RN, for not sugarcoating anything. And I look forward to the next time we do this. This is great.
I just want to thank Matt Spike for joining us. You know what I'm saying? Glad to have him on there.
I appreciate you guys.
No, real talk, though. Enjoyed you, man. Definitely glad. Definitely want to do some more stuff with you for sure.
All right,
Absolutely.
you guys.
Absolutely. Hopefully I can get the Discord working on my computer next time. So
For sure, man.
Hey, and before we go, let's go ahead. Make sure to go to at Smacking It Raw podcast. They had the name first, so we can't throw cease and desist at them. I really wanted to. And then, of course, check out Mean Jelly Bean on YouTube as well for RN. Vince and I, this is us. Man, we ain't got nothing special.
real quick, if you guys want to follow us or any of our stuff, you guys can just go to @Matt Ritter. That is at MattRedder I've got link trees for both the audio and video. And you guys can find us on Pornhub. We are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub because we are the only one.
This is true.
That's fucking legit.
Until next time, y'all have a good one. Peace.